Welcome to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Ottner.
I am Brian Lynch. Patrick, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good, Brian. It's cloudy. It's not going to be that hot, and I'm feeling good.
Do you like gray better than sunny?
No, but I feel like once you have a bunch of sunny, you need a gray every so often.
You should go to England for a couple months, see how much you like gray then.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
What's this podcast?
This podcast is a show where we do audio commentaries on movies or TV shows with people who worked on them who never got to do them. I feel like when I do that description, every time my eyes like roll back in my head like I'm in Dune or something, you know?
I've never seen Dune. Did that happen?
Yeah.
In David Lynch's Dune as well?
That's a great question. I don't remember. I know what happens in the Denis Villeneuve ones.
Let's ask all our fans to tell us if in Dune by David Lynch, people's eyes roll in the back of their head.
Write in. Hey, that's me pod at gmail.com. An email I almost never promote, but people find somehow.
What, you get emails?
Sometimes.
Like what? About what?
We have a future guest who sent a pitch themselves via that email.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah.
Pitch yourselves.
Pitch yourself.
Email us.
I'll probably say no to most of you, but pitch yourself anyways.
I know. I constantly pitch myself to Patrick, and he's like, no. Nobody cares.
No.
I'm like, fine. Hey, what are we doing today?
I'm doing a good one, Brian, because you were busy.
Where was I? I think we can say it.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
You were at CinemaCon, Brian.
Yeah, I haven't gone yet.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's happening the day of this record, which was this week.
Yeah.
This is maybe the only time we've ever released a podcast the week that we recorded it.
Right on, yeah. Why are we doing that?
We're doing that because our guest today is Stuart Ziff, who is a special effects man who worked in the late 70s through the early 90s, worked on the original Star Wars trilogy, worked on Ghostbusters, worked on Raiders, worked on so many things that everybody loves. Stuart has a documentary that's on Indiegogo right now.
Yeah.
And as of this recording, there's like 40 days left in it. I want to make this happen.
What's the name of the documentary?
The documentary, well, the name on Indiegogo is Stuart Ziff, Special Effects and ILM Legend, Ghostbusters, Dragon Slayer, Star Wars, and more. That's not the name of the movie.
They should probably shorten the title.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make this happen. Brian, I was backer number 1.
That's awesome.
Isn't that exciting?
Yep.
Stuart was like, he was head of the ghost shop in Ghostbusters. Like, he's like the guy who was in charge of like making sure all the ghosts got built. Mm-hmm. He worked on, we're doing Return of the Jedi today. He did a ton on Return of the Jedi.
Did he do all the ghosts in Return of the Jedi?
He did all of the ghosts. Well, there are ghosts in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I don't know. Slimer,
the librarian ghost.
Mrs. Slimer.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. And he's just a really cool, nice guy. And I really want this documentary to get made because he's got an insane treasure trove of photos and stuff from that time. We went to a prop store auction, pre-show thing, where they were showing off all the things that were going to be auctioned off. And one of the things that they had was a bunch of his original photographs from Return of the Jedi that had never been seen anywhere. He found them in a box and was like, let's sell these guys off. But there's some really insane ones. There's one that I really loved where it was the bunker on Endor, the shield generator bunker, and it's after it blew up and it's just a bunch of firefighters coming in with hoses. Fun. And it was it's so weird to see that.
To see the real world come in.
But I want this documentary. Their goal's only 10,000, and I think that's very doable.
Sure.
If you give $100, you get to be an associate producer.
If all of our fans donated $10,000, we could make this happen.
If they all donated $10,000, yeah, this would be the most funded documentary of all time.
Yeah, it would be 100% right away.
Yeah,
yep.
It won.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Will Ball, write that check.
But go check it out. The link will be in the description, or you could just find it. The filmmaker's name is Michelle Opitz, and we're also joined by Neil, who's one of the producers on the documentary. So he'll be able to talk about that a little bit more.
Do you want me to call in while I'm partying with Vin Diesel at CinemaCon?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, great.
I'm assuming Vin Diesel's going to be there.
It feels like he's always there.
Yeah. He's hanging in the rafters, even if the movie comes out.
What about Matt Remick? Is Matt Remick going to be there?
Matt Remick?
He's there to promote the Kool-Aid movie, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Cool. That's a funny reference. Good one.
They went to CinemaCon.
They did. It was I think it was a 3-episode stretch.
Yeah, it was a bunch.
Yeah.
So Return of the Jedi, you've all seen Return of the Jedi. You know what Return of the Jedi is. I don't need to explain it to you. It's on Disney Plus. It's on Blu-ray. It's on DVD.
It's probably on a Blu-ray you have in your house.
It's on 4K. It's on whatever you want.
Are you watching the special edition one or the non-special one?
We'll probably be watching the special edition one.
Okay, great.
Although now I'm like, it's harder to find the non-special edition
I have
one.
the non-special edition one. I have a great copy of it.
Yeah, I don't.
I bought it on Etsy.
Wow, look at that.
The cops are going to come bust this Etsy up now that I've mentioned it.
Go find it anywhere.
Well, you're watching. Be clear, you're doing the special edition.
We're doing the special edition. Yeah, just because that's the easiest the most accessible, easiest version of it.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm very excited for this. It's going to be very fun.
All right, on the count of 6, we're going to do
Okay,
it.
here we
4,
go.
5, 6. Because
So we're counting up.
4, 5, 6.
Oh, that's it.
yeah.
Okay.
But that's what the first Star Wars was.
I guess
for.
that's true.
Come on.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, go! Return of the Jedi. One of the big ones. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Fine. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this.
I'm super psyched. I
Yeah.
haven't seen this in a long time.
Let's introduce ourselves just so
Okay.
people know the different voices.
Okay.
All right, I'm Stuart Ziff. I'm the one who worked on this film a long time ago.
Yeah, a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, exactly. And Neil?
I'm Neil McNally. I'm a producer on a documentary about Words Like Life and a big Star Wars fan. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And, the documentary, I mean, we've talked about it in the intro,
Yeah.
but like, find it on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
It seems very cool, and I really
is.
want it to get made.
We do too.
I'll say this. I was backer number 1.
You were.
Oh,
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So
That's great.
I have an extra urge to get
Nice.
this to want.
And again, if people go to the Indiegogo website, you could see a 2-minute trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
good.
What it's going to be about.
And associate producer for $100, which is a great deal.
Pretty good credit right there.
It's a great
So
deal.
yeah.
So let's talk about Return of the Jedi specifically, and then we'll go back to other stuff
Yeah.
in a little bit. How did you get the call that you were going to come back for Jedi? Because you worked on the first 2 as well.
Yes. Okay. So I quit from Star Wars Empire, and for various reasons. And then they were setting up the creature shop. Phil Tippett was to make all the background creatures behind Jabba. Jabba was made in London, I guess, in charge of Stuart Freeborn. Well, they really wanted me for my technical skills. But at that point in my life, I somehow decided I was going to become a producer, which was just absurd. And I said, I'd only take this job doing all the mechanisms if you let me be a production assistant when you're on location. So I was probably the highest paid production assistant ever.
That's good.
I mean, that's a good
precedent.
deal.
Yeah.
You also, I can't imagine there were that many people who were on all of the locations throughout the movie.
Oh, no.
The same
yeah.
people would
Yeah.
go to all of them?
Well, okay. So we made all the creatures in Marin County
Yeah.
at Industrial Light and Magic. We had our own building. Other people at ILM weren't allowed to come into it. I don't know. There could have been 2 dozen, 3 dozen of us. It was headed by Phil Tippett, who is just a genius.
Yeah.
And let's see, I lost my thought. Going
Tippett.
around. Yeah, so essentially, when we made the creatures, then we had to have them operated. I was part of the people who'd have to maintain them. So as a group, we'd went to location like London, Yuma, Arizona, and up near Crescent City, California.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot of travel.
That is a lot of travel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think initially they thought I was just going to be in London like 2 or 3 weeks.
Sure.
And I think it ended up being 2 months.
Wow.
Because I always remember, you'll hear how I was the liaison. I was in the production office, and I remember this delightful woman I'm still in touch with who worked there, Gail Samuelson, and she was in front of whatever and looked at the hotel bill from there being 2 months, and her eyes were, well, as big as any of the Ewoks.
Luckily, they had money.
Oh,
They're doing fine. They don't-
Yes, yes.
I've seen your paperwork from there. It's intense, like all the rundowns, contact sheets. It's pretty crazy what you were doing at that time. You know?
Well, what it was, like when I was on location in London, I was the liaison between our whole crew in London, and I would hang out in the production office. So I got to know the associate producer, Robert Watts, other people there. And we have to remember, this is what, 1982? This is a little before the internet. So they were constantly sending telexes. I would go to the office and dictate it, and they'd send a telex to my counterpart in Marin County. So, yeah, what Neil's referring to, I still have all those telexes.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
That's amazing. You've sold a lot of stuff for Prop Store recently.
Yes,
And
yes.
I saw you they did like a pre night for one of their
Yeah.
auctions, and you were showing off all these amazing photos that you auctioned off.
yeah.
They were so cool, and you just like did you know they existed, or did you just happen upon
Oh,
them? Or?
no. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
You just found them, didn't
yeah.
you? Yeah.
Thanks
recently.
to Neil, Michelle, and Brad,
Yeah.
who are the documentary crew, I'm constantly trying to find more prints for the documentary. And also, I've been selling stuff over the years at Prop Store. So I always think I find the last box. And lo and behold, I decided after I bought my first Apple II in 1980, I thought it was time to throw it out. As I pull it out of the closet, I see this box marked slides. And I look at it, and in the bottom were all these 3x5-inch black and white pictures. By this point, I was so overloaded with just looking at this stuff that I just took the whole box to Prop Store and said, you guys look through it.
Yeah.
And give me back what's personal.
Sure.
Well, it turns out I think there was like 400 black and white prints, 3x5.
We had to be like, Stu, we would like to look at those as well. So
God.
we talk with the Prop Store. It's fine.
Oh,
so-
that's the whole thing. Turns out I own even though we sold a lot of those black and white pictures, I still hold the copyright.
Oh, that's good.
Which
Yeah,
I
so-
signed over to the
We've
documentary.
worked it out with Prop Store, so it's all good.
And what the story is behind it, I'm on location. I have this little 35 millimeter Olympus camera, and I'm just clicking black and white pictures. And I think I may have had another one, I can't remember, where I'm clicking color slides.
Oh, wow.
And these were all of them. And I, of course, totally forgot about them.
Yeah.
And now when I look at them, I go, oh, yeah, I remember how boring it was on the set. Oh, yeah, because people always say it's, hurry up and wait. No, it's wait, hurry up, do your job, and then wait. So you have all this time. So I'm clicking pictures then, and then I'm clicking it when you're not supposed to be clicking it. During actual screening, like I have one with Boba Fett flying off the sail barge.
That's pretty cool.
It's really crazy. Like some of them that you saw, the shot's so good. Sorry,
The spider
Yeah, I
robot.
love it
I
so
used to
much.
wonder what that was.
Some of the shots are so insane because like it's just off screen and then you see like a big crane holding Boba
Yeah.
Fett or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just not stuff that you think about
Yeah.
existing because in your brain this is what exists.
Yeah.
Well, one of my
pretty
I mean,
fascinating
there's so
photos.
many favorite stories, and please direct me if I'm going off.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on location in Redwoods, a private redwood stand near
Yeah,
the
Wonga.
California-Oregon border, and as the sun rays come through the trees, it's very bright rays. So what they do is they hold what's called a scrim. It was like this metal frame, maybe 15 by 15 feet with white cloth. And then when the sunbeams hit it, it would diffuse it around the scene. So it's okay, we're going to be setting up, to shoot here, and the grips put up the scrim,
Sure.
and we're almost ready to go, and I'm making this up now.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
looks
yeah.
through the camera and goes, there are not enough ferns over there. So then the greensman, as it's called, take all these fat cans of ferns and place them. Well, guess what? The sun moves. So then we have to hold up the shooting until they remove the scrim. And
That's movies.
that's movies.
Like it's
So it means a lot more waiting time.
for sure.
Oh, gosh.
Were
now-
you here for all this? You were
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering how much you were here
I
for.
think that guy with like the snake around his neck
Yeah.
Yeah.
was Gerald Holmes. I'm not sure.
Oh, sure. This
Okay.
is me being a gigantic
No,
nerd.
go for it.
Gerald
Hey,
was
that's what we're here for.
the Squid Man who's got the
Oh,
tentacles.
okay.
His name was Michael Carter.
That's
Oh,
his name.
okay.
Sorry.
Thank you for that. Well, the Gerald Holmes, in London, they had all these
yes.
actors inside, and I got to know Gerald Holmes.
Yeah.
And apparently he was also a Shakespearean actor.
Oh, wow.
Really talented. And he told me something, because years around that I took an acting class. He says, when you're a professional actor, no matter how you feel, no matter how sick you are, you have to deliver like 80%.
Of course. Of course.
So
That's amazing.
okay.
What was it like being on set for this? Because this is like, to me, this is like pure Star Wars here. It's just like,
Oh,
in terms
well-
of creatures, like, did you set a lot of this up or what?
Did I what?
So did you like set a lot of this up with the creatures?
No. We were just responsible for our creatures there,
Okay.
like maintaining them. And gosh, what was it like being okay? So weird stories. Okay,
No, go for
like
it.
they had a lot of extras dressed up in certain ways, right? And you'd have a shot of whoever is the lead actress in the front, and the extras as creatures
Yeah.
or weird guys or whatever. And one of the older extras, I start talking to him. He goes, the young ones, they always want to get in the front to be on camera. but if you're on camera, they don't hire you back the next day.
Oh, wow.
I always stay in the back.
Oh, wow.
So, because I'm not sure, I think they'd have like a casting call in the morning, and
That's
all these
so
people
funny.
would line up, and the guy go, you're
Yeah.
hired today. But if they recognize, I'm not sure about this. If
Yeah.
they recognize the face, they don't do it.
It's really amazing how there's so many people in this scene specifically who have just done conventions for 40 years.
Yeah.
And it's like they're in the background,
Yeah.
and it's like, nope, they've made their living off of that. It's amazing.
Stu is doing a convention in August in Texas that I'll
Yeah.
be at, and you were like, "Do they want to see me?" And the guy said, the organizer said, "There can be a stormtrooper 9th row from the left, and people will line up for
Yes.
that guy."
Yeah, for that guy's signature.
Yeah, I
that,
know.
that made me feel okay.
You've done a few of them now, right? A few conventions.
Well, yeah, we've been to Monster Palooza.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we're going to the bigger one at the
Yeah,
end of May.
and end of May. And then
we're
that's
going to
in Pasadena Civic
Oh, sure.
Center.
What was your experience like going to this first one?
Oh gosh, it was so amazing. The documentary crew was there, and it's people are coming by and they're dressed up like their favorite creature, and then some people come up and they look at me and go, "Mr. Ziff, you don't know how Ghostbusters changed my life."
Yeah.
And then they just tell the story how
Yeah.
they were going one direction and their parents didn't want them to go in the arts,
Yeah.
and somehow this film was the turning point.
Yeah.
For me, it was a paycheck. Of
course, of course,
But
yeah.
for them, and that's what I came to realize,
Yeah.
is that, you make these films and, well, I guess Casablanca and Wizard of Oz had that effect for me.
Sure. I mean, when you're on this one, this is the third one that you've worked on.
Yeah.
You must know at this point, this is going to be people's favorite thing. Like, this is going to mean a lot to people, right?
Well, I don't think that so. No. At that point, I didn't realize that. But what
Yeah.
I think was Phil Tippett said, by this film, when you knew Lucas was in charge, even though he may not have been the director, he was
Sure,
in
he was the
charge.
director,
He-
yeah.
Phil said something like the fact, you're on this train and it's going to hit the destination.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like being on some dumpy film.
Sure.
where,
Did you? So Richard Marquand directed it supposedly. Now, not much is really known about him. Did you work with him at all? Did you interact with him?
No,
he's kind
I
of an
don't-
unknown
Yeah,
entity.
I don't really remember.
Okay.
What I do remember, I mean, he may have been the director, but George had input.
Yeah.
And I think, should we talk about Wicket now? Or?
Let's save
Okay,
Wicket
Yeah,
until he
Pandora.
shows
All right.
up, and we'll
All right.
Yeah.
talk about that then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you worked on Reese, right?
Yes.
The three. Let's
Yeah.
talk about him because he's a guy. This squid guy right here that we just saw.
Yeah.
That was Gerald Home.
Okay,
Right there.
got
He
it.
shows up more later, but Reese, he's got 3 eyes. He looks a
Yeah.
little like a goat. What did you do with him?
Okay. I and Evan Stromquist were the two guys mainly making all the mechanisms. And it was my job to make the eyes blink. Now, like you just saw Jabba, and
Yes.
the way that's like a spherical eye, and you have like 2 wire hoops at either corner.
Yeah.
And as the curved wire comes down, the latex rubber moves. Well, I had to make I made Admiral Akbar's eye,
Insane.
and that eye was an oval
I've seen
shape.
that, yeah.
And that one, I came up with the idea of essentially having a rubber band stretched across the edge of each eyelid and a wire to push it down, and that allowed the eyelid to actually ride on the surface, which wasn't ordinarily done before.
Yeah.
Okay, so like on Reese, there were 3 eyes, and I made the mechanism to machine the mechanism where cables would be used to push the eyelid open and closed. And I set up a machine because I didn't know how long it would last. I have knowledge of electronics, and basically it opened and closed 9,000 times and still worked.
Wow.
So
gosh.
we concluded that was
Good
enough.
craftsmanship.
How much trial and error goes into that?
A lot.
Yeah, there's
And-
Reese right there.
Yeah. And it's like, well, you say trial and error. I mean, you try an idea.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is you have the time, if it doesn't work, to
Sure.
redo it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's nice about working on these big budget.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the time.
All the time
you've
in the
got
world.
yeah.
And what I always like to say about working in film, if you screw up, this was union, so you get paid time and a half after 8 hours, and then you go into golden time, which
Sure.
is like 2 times. So if you make a mistake, you get paid for
Yeah.
it. You might get overtime for it.
There's good things to working in the industry.
Yeah,
There's-
at that time, I don't know what it's like now.
It's probably a little different, I assume.
But it was like we're looking like to see all these creatures and watch the filming.
Yeah.
It was just magic, you know. I mean, you have the atmosphere and the smoke, and
Was it hot?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think it was.
It feels like it would be hot and smelly.
I think that's the point. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I forget. I know in other jobs they would use the same smoke you use for beehives, and there was
Oh.
that smell of whatever that was.
Oh, wow.
But God, I think there were 5 or 6 people
Yeah,
operating Jabba.
We had-
No, I think there were like 9, and
Were
there's a
there?
dwarf in there too, in the tail. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had Dave Barclay, who's one of the puppeteers for that. He did this podcast. We
Okay.
did Roger Rabbit with him.
Oh,
It was
cool.
amazing. Yeah.
That's my favorite film, actually.
It's
But-
a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Do you like Star Wars?
Yes.
It's okay to say no. You can say no.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, remember I said the films that influenced me the most
Yeah.
were like Wizard of Oz and Casablanca and Billy Wilder films like Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
I'm aging myself, but you know.
But those are
movies.
still
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
like those movies still.
Yeah. No, I mean, who would have known?
Yeah.
Should I talk about how I originally got
Yeah,
the
let's
first
do it.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a degree in engineering from UCLA. I ended up taking sculpture classes. That led to going to California Institute of the Arts. Then I was going to become a famous artist. I ended up doing laboratory glass blowing. That's making things out of little borosilicate tubes. Someone said, gee, you should meet this guy in Venice, California, part of LA. He'll teach you how to do neon. Well, that guy became a lifelong friend. He was Larry Albright. He was Mr. Neon for Hollywood. He did like the neon inside of the mothership on Close Encounters.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I needed a job after Cal Arts, and he was offered a full-time film job, but he had his studio. He was doing all these other things. He said, Stuart, go for an interview someplace near Van Nuys Airport. That's part of L.A., and a 10 o'clock interview. So I went there, and at 11 o'clock, I started working on some film named Star Wars. You know?
Amazing.
And luck. But I did really good work on it.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's how I started in.
Yeah. Does Larry regret not taking
Oh,
that job?
oh no,
Yeah.
no. Larry went on to work on many, many films. He loved his studio.
Yeah.
And again, we became lifelong friends.
That's amazing.
I still have the equipment to make neon sculptures, which
Yeah.
I infrequently do.
Did I hear that you volunteer at the Neon?
Yes.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the Museum of Neon Art in Glendale.
Yes.
And it's on Brand Boulevard across from the Americana. And they are dedicated to neon art sculptures. They have a very good collection of old neon signs. And they have classes to learn how to bend neon and fill neon and so on. And some of my sculptures are in permanent display there. And I volunteer every so often. I come and I explain to people how neon is made and how it works, and I really enjoy.
I've never been, and I really.
Me neither.
You have to tell me next time
oh,
you're
yeah,
there.
I would love to go.
I will give you the
I've seen
tour.
pictures. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain to people like how does neon work? Because I don't know anything about
Yeah.
neon. Like,
All
give us
right.
the general.
Okay, well, I'll try the. Okay, so how does it work? When you have atoms, they have electrons spinning around. If those electrons go to different orbits, when they come back to where they're happy, they give off a photon of light. Okay, so how do you get those electrons to move? Well, one way is in a flame. Another way is lightning. Another way could be intense electrical sparks like from a Tesla coil. So in a neon sign, you just have a line voltage, essentially voltage from the wall coming in, and that excites these atoms. The electrons move around, and it gives off light.
Wow.
Does that help?
That does help. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Can you touch neon? Like,
Well,
are you supposed to?
It's toxic, right?
Is
Is
it
it
bad for you if it
neon
touches your
gas?
skin? Yeah.
Oh, no. What it is, you could only use gases that are that won't react with what's called the electrode inside, and those are the inert gases, like was it neon, argon, krypton, helium, xenon. Those are really the only gases you could do. So they're totally non-toxic, non-flammable, completely harmless, and they're if you breathe them, it won't affect you.
Okay, great. We've never talked this much science on
No,
the show.
I know.
I
It's good
love
for
it.
the
Oh, I
audience.
could go on
He
and
has
on.
a
and on.
diverse background.
That's
here.
great. So this was at Elstree. in
Yes.
London? What do you remember about working on at Elstree?
Oh gosh, well, let's see, so many things.
Yeah.
Should I talk about the putting the slime on the
Yes,
peach's face?
absolutely you
Okay.
should.
All right. So I told you my job was to be the liaison with the production office, but also it was with basically the guys doing the film. Like if we needed something picked up, I talked to whatever it was in the sound stage, not in the production office. Hey, could you have a driver to pick this up? Okay, like you're looking at Jabba now, but if you look at some of the creatures on their mouth, it's like this slimy, gooey thing that's coming out. And what is that? That's KY jelly. That's calcium methyl cellulose. Well,
Great.
we brought all the creatures we made in Marin County and the supplies, but we run out of the KY jelly. So I go up to the office, with all the blokes who are in charge of the production on the set, and I go, "Hey, could you guys go and buy more KY jelly?" And this guy turns to this really big English dude and goes, who's a driver, "Hey, I'll give you some," this is an English accent, "I'll give you some petty cash. Go pick up some KY jelly." We were in the town of Borehamwood, right outside the studio. Well, this guy just turns to Jell-O. He goes, "I'm not picking that up." So I go, "Hey, no problem. Give me the money." So they give me a bunch of pounds. I walk out the front door, walk down the main street. There's a thing called the chemist. That's what they call their pharmacy. I go in. There's a counter, and the salesperson is this blonde English lady. Just dressed like a nurse, and there's some, tubes of English KY jelly, big ones and little ones. I go, "I'd like to buy some of these." And she goes, "Which size do you want?" And I go, "I want them all."
She must have been like, "What is going on?"
What is this guy doing?
She's English. It's like she sucks it up, puts them all in a bag, takes my money, doesn't, who knows what she told her husband that evening. So, I go marching back in the studio, and that's my KY jelly
Nice.
I think she
story.
told her husband, "Honey, we need to order more KY jelly. We're all out."
This guy bought everything.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Did you like living in England?
Oh, yes, it was fast. Well, they put us up in a hotel. It was a nice hotel in London, and then have a driver pick us up and take him to Borehamwood. It was called it Borehamwood, and bring us back. And what it is, I was just so burned out. I think we could have worked 6 days a week. Anyways, on my day off, I would truck to the West End and see different plays.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And it was just a wonderful experience. That part. Also, I have English friends, and so that I met in the U.S. They live in London. So, and we were constantly having people flying back from essentially San Francisco, Marin County, and London. So I put in an order for all this Mexican food, and then it arrived. And then I invited some of our crew to the house of one of my English friends.
That's amazing.
And we made a Mexican dinner.
That's great.
It was
That's great.
Really a lot of fun.
Oh, that's so fun. It seems like were people happy on this set?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
Okay. I could go on and on. Stop.
I want
It's
you
fine to talk during
I
this.
want you.
I mean, it's
to.
kind of the point of all this.
When you worked on a Lucasfilm job, everyone would share ideas. There was no territory. That made for very happy everyone's. It was so interesting because, like, when we went to London, we were told, do not go in on the stage or whatever where the plaster people were making things because it's their territory.
Oh, wow.
They don't want any secrets out. So among ourselves, it was really, really great.
Yeah.
And this is back in Marin County. Now, there was the whole thing. I told you how, we used KY jelly to make slime on the face. And I found, like on Rees and Admiral Akbar, I made Admiral Akbar's eyes, that to lubricate the latex, since it was riding right on the eyeball, you didn't want anything that would deteriorate the latex. So I found out that silicone oil worked that way. I know I'm getting technical, but
this
that's
is
what
good.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we fly to London with our stuff. I have all the silicone oil. Okay, I'm not allowed to touch the creatures. It has to be English effects guys.
Sure.
And I explained to them, well, you should really use silicone oil. They so much as ignored me.
Yeah.
So I let them know in certain terms, and they ignored me. Okay, that evening, back at the hotel, Phil says, Stuart, this is Phil Tippett, Stuart, back off. They were ready to deck you. I go, it's Phil. They're gonna Stuart. It's out of our hands now.
my God.
Well, whatever they used, luckily didn't
Yeah.
deteriorate the latex.
What would deteriorate the latex?
Almost any. I don't know. I just forget now.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know what have done it, but it's it's this whole thing. You supposedly just want to make it for 2 shots and
Totally.
maybe a rehearsal.
Yeah.
It's never like that.
Yeah.
They have to shoot it over and over. Of course, my real experience was in China Syndrome. I was responsible for all the blinking lights in the control room set. And the one of the producers would bring by his current girlfriend, wanting to impress her. So we had to demonstrate things. So that stuff like that means you make things, and it has to work a long time.
Yeah. The Rancor looks like he's covered in goop.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, that was Phil designed it, and that's
Yeah.
stop motion animated.
Oh, well, that's a hand puppet, actually.
Oh, it
they did
is?
stop
I-
motion. Originally,
yeah.
it didn't work.
Oh, thank
So
you
then they
for
did a
telling
hand
me.
puppet. I think they sped the film up
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
make it look slow, I think. Yeah.
It shows my memory and what I know.
No.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
I've
but
watched
so
many
much,
documentaries. But
so much goop.
Yeah.
Like, look at that hanging from
Yes.
his mouth. It's gross.
I don't know if these exist because foam eventually falls apart and all that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of these creatures still are around.
Both ozone and ultraviolet destroy foam.
Yeah.
But and I think maybe wild fluctuations of temperature. But latex foam was just amazing. You essentially cast it out of this natural material, and it had a property, like if you made a hand out of it, as the mechanism inside would close the fingers, the way the foam sort of bent on itself made it look like there was something inside.
Sure, yeah.
And I've since reconnected with Rob Berman, who was our foam rumber on Ghostbusters. He still makes all these prostheses. And I said, oh, Rob, don't they do it all out of silicone now? He goes, no. When you make something for someone's forehead out of silicone, it just does not move like the latex rubber.
Yeah.
So, this is real old
I wonder
technology.
because it's heavier, or I wonder why it doesn't move the same way. It's just a different.
I guess it's just its elasticity,
Yeah.
the way it compresses.
Sure.
Yeah, you say sure. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. Sure. You could have said anything. And I would
Yes,
say,
of
yeah, that
course.
sounds right.
Why not?
So on Star Wars proper, the first one, can you tell people about what you did? Because I think
Okay.
it's extremely cool.
Okay, all right. So you have the rocket ship or
Yes.
whatever, and it's shot against what's known as a blue screen. That's this panel that's probably 8-10 feet high, maybe 15 feet wide, full of intense white fluorescent tubes, and in front of all that is a 16th inch filter material that's blue. And this is behind the rocket ship. And what it is, in the process, remember, this is before Photoshop. This is everything had to be done by film. You had to make, well, let's say if you shoot a rocket ship, you want the background around it to be clear, right? And so one way to do it is you make the background blue, and then there's a process with film where essentially you could make that clear and still have the picture of the rocket ship, which means the rocket ship can't have any blue paint in it. Okay, that rocket ship has to be supported in front of the screen. And that rocket ship has lights around it. So you don't move the rocket ship. The camera is on a track that moves towards the rocket ship. And when you project it, it looks like the rocket ship's moving towards the camera. The reason why you don't move the rocket ship is because you have all these lights around it you have to move to. Okay, the problem is, I said, there's a rod supporting it. How do you make that rod disappear? Well, I believe the first way they did it, they just held a blue card up, and they thought they could shine a light on it, and it didn't work. Well, I had my neon skills.
Yeah.
So I make these white neon tubes. They were maybe 3 feet long, and a whole bunch of them. Maybe they're the thickness of your index finger, and they wrap around that rod that went from the floor to support the rocket ship. And then we covered it with that same plastic blue filter material that was on the blue screen, and we could adjust the intensity of the neon tubes around the rod. And when you adjusted it just correctly, it just disappeared into the background. And that was really a big deal. I believe people had tried that on other films, but I think I was one of the first to get it to work so well.
Were they just kissing you when you figured it out? Were they
Thank you.
so excited
Where
that
did
it
we
got
find
all
this
work?
guy?
You know, honestly, I don't remember. Well, but the thing is, that goes back. We're all working together. We're congratulating each other on good ideas and making suggestions on not good ideas.
Yeah.
So, I was appreciated, and I mean, the only thing I did on Star, I made a lot of the background equipment, not all, but I made the mechanism inside of the Death Star cannon, which was this trapezoidal thing that had 2 guns that were going in, out, and that was a model maybe about a foot high. So, and that got in the film.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Why, when you decided it's time to go, it's time to quit?
Well,
what was that decision?
Okay,
like?
what that decision was, when we were going along and building new innovative stuff, that was real exciting to me. And could we talk about the Star Wars?
Yes, absolutely.
Please.
All right. So this was again built in the desert near Yuma, Arizona. The sand barge was on sail barge was on a platinum, 20 or 30 feet above. That's actually all above the desert, and they did that. So near it, that conical thing that goes in the dirt, that's all above ground level. And at the bottom was the Sarlacc mouth.
Yes.
And I and Phil Tippett and other people actually built that out in the desert.
Yeah, the pictures of that are crazy.
They really are.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up, I put up that you were coming on here on our Patreon, and one of the questions we got, and this is a very important question, was Yuma hot?
Yes.
That's from Michael. Michael Benos wanted to know, was Yuma hot?
Oh, Yuma was hot. And it was, okay, so like here we are on the barge, which was really neat. One of the scenes was just the memories of being on it. So unfortunately, I don't have like interior shots, like something like this. And they would have smoke coming out of different parts of the sand, the sail barge. And all of a sudden, we hear and this incredible, horrific scream. One of the steam pipes broke and was spraying on one of the effects guys.
Oh, wow.
And you could hear it everywhere. The whole set, just everyone stops and freezes. And, the first AD, David Tomlin, came on after a while, said, listen, he's being taken care of. We have to go back and do the film. And we did. Okay, so more about what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. So there were stuntmen that had to fall into this.
They're breaking bones all over the place. It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, so one stuntman actually broke his ankle.
Wow.
And he just dealt it like, it's all in a day's work.
Yeah.
And you meet some of these stuntmen, and it's like, oh, yeah, I have a metal plate here and a pin here.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to be a little insane to be a stuntman. Like, there's a little bit of like...
Not the average job choice.
Yeah.
Well, my stock line is you could hire someone to do anything in Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, I was on the sail barge when they were shooting Boba Fett.
That's cool.
And flying him off, like you said, with little piano wires and big cranes above.
He's not dead. You realize that, right?
Oh, no.
In one of the TV shows, you find out that he survived. And all of that.
What's so amazing to me, like I'm in touch now with Judy Elkins. She sculpted like Yak Face. I haven't talked with her in decades.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand in Italy what different towns have different saints that they whatever it is to. Well, I think there are different groups. Like she sculpted Yak Face, which was some totally background creature.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there's this whole Yak Face worshiping town.
It's the cult of Yak Face.
Yeah,
I mean, some of them become so popular because like Yak Face was one of the few action figures that came out like early, and it's just like those
and they
kids
just randomly named them too. Yeah.
They like hyper fixate on this thing because like I had that action figure when I was a kid. Reese had one too. People love Reese.
Yeah, I'm just amazed by it.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm amazed by so many things.
So when you're working on the pit, right? What are you doing specifically for that?
Well, we actually assembled it out of pieces of foam and glued them together and like glued all those tentacles or whatever they were, really building it. I mean, I have a shot of myself without a shirt on because it was really, really hot.
Yeah.
You know, and sandy.
Yeah.
And
That's fascinating. Do you remember, were people just out there watching? Like, did the public come find it?
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I told how the whole essentially set was like 20 or 30 feet above the desert floor.
Yes.
And then it was shot in such a way that you didn't see the line. Like those mountains are the desert. And, you know, if you look closely, you could sort of see it. Well, they had a little problem. There were all these people on dune buggies, and they were always there. So before a shot, I guess some of whoever was on the production had their dune buggies to scare those
Push
people
them out.
away.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah.
Now, we had another little problem that the Air Force would be flying tests. I guess it was one of their test areas.
Oh, wow.
And some of their fighter planes were strafing the set.
Wow.
You know? So Robert Watts, who was one of the associate producers, went to whoever the head Air Force guy at the base was, and they had a talk, and they exchanged hats. He gave like a Return of the Jedi
Amazing.
hat, got some Air Force hat, and that solved that
That
problem.
was the deal. It's a done deal.
I mean, I guess at a certain point when you're just like, it's Star Wars. Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Get out of here.
Yeah. So
you just gave photos to Kirk Thatcher, who worked under you.
Yeah.
And Kirk had never seen those, and he's in our documentary, but he was like amazed at like all the sail barge stuff. You remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Kirk was the most amazing person.
Yeah.
I think he started off, I think he was just 19 years old. He was a very friendly person, and he just befriend people. And one person he befriended was Peter Mayhew, you know, Chewbacca.
Yeah.
So, you know, we had time off for lunch, and Kurt arranged it where the driver took us all to a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, maybe there's 3 or 4 of us, and Peter sitting there, obviously not dressed in his outfit.
Sure.
He's you know, sitting, he's just
a big
real
guy.
tall.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
This whole group of little Boy Scouts come in, all dressed in their Boy Scout uniform, and they eat and they leave. And none of them knew that probably someone they
would've lost
all
their mind.
idolized
Yes,
was just sitting right next to them.
He's on their bed sheets.
Yeah,
They don't know.
exactly.
Yeah. What did you do on Empire?
Okay, on Empire Strikes Back, I was sort of like the floating guy to solve problems, a pretty amazing thing. And they were building a machine called an optical printer. You take all these different elements, like here you're looking at whatever, a TIE fighter, I forget the name of the things, they're TIE fighters or whatever. And so those are models maybe 14 inches high, and they're shot against a blue screen, and maybe there's a painting of the Death Star and back. So there are different film elements, and you have to combine them all. And that was done on a machine called an optical printer. And they decided to make a really fancy one. Ordinarily, they'd have like 2 cameras in it. Yeah, ask Mr. Google what an optical printer is.
Yes.
You know,
They're very cool. They look very
they
cool.
were,
Yeah.
and they're not used anymore. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's all digital.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, they were building a 4-camera one, 4-headed one, and I was coordinating that, and that was one of the things I did. And then also, while I was working on that, they were working on Dragon Slayer, and I ended up making this Go Motion figure mover, which I must brag, I won a technical achievement
You
award
should brag.
from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences for designing that, and Phil Tippett used that to help stop motion animate the dragon in Dragon Slayer.
Wow.
So those are the things. I did a little bit on Raiders of the Lost Ark. There was a scene in the. Should I keep going?
Yes,
on this?
absolutely.
Okay. There was a scene in
Imagine
the.
if I said no.
You're like,
Imagine if I was
no, we're not.
Well,
We're done
yeah,
with this.
but, you know,
Yeah, no,
we're,
keep
You're like,
doing
we're
it.
watching the movie. Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
All right. Okay. Remember in the end there were the 3 Nazis.
Yeah, we
Yes.
remember.
One the head explodes.
Yes.
One the head melts, and one the skin sucks into the skull. Okay, so as they're doing it, they had the skull, and the way it worked, the skin was actually made out of thin latex. They used the skull was put inside. They used air to make it inflate just to the right thing. Put up all the makeup, the hair, the glasses, and then the idea is you turn on vacuum and it sucks the skin into the skull. Well, when they were doing it, George Lucas goes, I think I want that skull to rock back and forth before it sucks in. So I spend a week or two making a mechanism when you move this little joystick with cables, it goes back and forth. It worked very well. Well, they did a test screening of it, and Lucas looked at it and go, I don't think it should rock.
Oh, boy.
So there's this whole category of things that's where you work on.
Yeah.
And you get paid.
Yeah.
It pays the paycheck,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't get in the film. But essentially, you're doing what the artists want.
Totally.
It's like, they have to see it to know. And
Yeah, and it's not saying that you did a bad job.
oh no,
Like
no,
you
no.
did it. You
Yeah.
did what they asked
I did
for,
a very
and
good
it just
job.
wasn't
You
what
got
they
paid.
wanted. Yeah. Were you around for Yoda stuff? at
No,
all?
I don't remember it. I don't
Yeah.
think I was.
Stuart Freeborn built that. I
Yes,
believe.
he
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And did Jim Henson puppeteer it, or did
No,
Freeborn?
Frank Oz did, and
Okay.
Jim consulted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mainly for Empire, though. So yeah.
Shows what I remember. Thank you, Neil.
You're welcome.
Did you have a lot of interaction with Stuart Freeborn?
No,
at all?
but Phil knew him,
Yeah.
and I was one of the few people that we were invited over to his house. I guess it was for lunch.
Oh, wow.
And it was with him and his wife.
that's cool.
I forget her name, Kay.
Kay? Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And I have like pictures of Stuart and Phil playing ping pong at his
wow.
house. And yeah, I really forgot about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just really lucky. I mean,
That's a pretty good interaction.
I mean, yeah, you're like, I didn't know him, but I played
Went
ping
to
pong
his
with
house.
him.
yeah. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
You
Do you think there are more photos in your house somewhere?
You know.
You mentioned the
He always
color
finds
ones
something.
earlier.
Yeah. Well, actually,
I mean, you found
There-
like 500. You know,
I do have more slides I found
I've seen-
that I
yeah, I've
haven't
seen
looked
those.
through yet. Maybe there's another 50.
Wild.
I don't know if there's duplicates of
Yeah.
other ones,
Sure.
but yeah,
They're all priceless. But wasn't Prop Store like, we've never seen anything like
yes.
this before? Yeah.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
interesting to me. I mean, again, to me, it's like, again, I didn't look at them, and then finally,
Yeah.
Brandon Allinger of Prop Store not only looked through these, but took a 30 megabyte picture of each one,
Yeah.
which then we
Which
have
he
for
gave
the
onto us, yeah.
documentary.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And what was explained to me from somewhere at Prop Store, anyways, Brandon was just like, oh my gosh, I've
Yeah.
never seen anything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. And was explained to me at Prop Store, they're constantly getting people showing, hey, could you auction this,
Yeah.
and they've seen everything before. But my pictures,
Yeah.
apparently, they've never seen. They've never had it
pretty
where
candid.
someone
Yeah.
was on the set
Yeah.
showing how the film was made.
Yeah. It is wild because, like, I mean, we're nerds. I feel
Yeah.
comfortable saying that.
Yeah,
we just
I know,
met.
yeah.
We are nerds, and like you feel like you've seen everything.
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like,
Like
there's
every book,
documentaries,
everything.
there's
Yeah.
everything, and then you see those, and like, there's the photo. I mentioned this when we were talking the other day. There's the photo of the firemen coming in after the bunker blows
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and it like breaks your brain a little
Yeah.
bit. You're just like, oh yeah, that's a real thing, and those guys were there, and they had to be because
Yeah.
there was an explosion.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. It's amazing.
Can I talk about that one?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay. Oh gosh. Okay. They had you. Okay. You have. I told you could hire anyone to do anything. One thing is explosives. So the way that bunker thing worked, they had these things. I think they're called mortars, and they're essentially like a piece of steel pipe, 3/8 of an inch thick, maybe a foot long, closed at the bottom, and they pack it through like explosives, or what they'd also do is put in essentially mothballs, paradichlorobenzene, and then I don't know if they had propane They ignite or explosives. Anyways, this is in the bunker. They detonate it all, and this fireball comes out,
Yeah.
and the mothballs burn, and that's what makes this big white, bright light thing. Now, I could have been like 100 feet away as everyone else was. I'm standing next to the camera, one of the cameras.
Yeah.
You know, they have multiple cameras. They have a big 4 by 8 foot sheet of plywood in front with like a 4-inch hole so the lens could look through. And they detonate it. And there's just like flash heat. And this big flame gets bigger and bigger. And oh my God, am I going to burn? And then it just dissipates.
Yeah.
It just disappears.
Yeah.
And then there's the smell of mothballs everywhere. So part of the story is that they were using so many explosives to like blow up the redwood trees, which I could talk about if you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
When
we'll
we get
talk-
there.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
get there when we get there.
that they actually had to hold up the production for a few hours while the effects guys had someone deliver more explosives.
It's got to be scary doing that on location because you're like, I don't want to burn down the redwood forest.
It would
you
be a
know?
problem.
They had, well, okay, it was a private stand of redwood trees that were going to move anyways. Of course, they had firemen everywhere.
Sure.
You know, I mean, that's one thing. The number of people you have on the production is just incredible.
Yeah.
Should I talk about the sharpshooters?
I think you have carte blanche to talk about what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know because I don't
Let's
know if you
talk
want
about
to go
it.
in the order.
No, let's talk about it.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe there's 100, 150 people. You have all these people on the set. If there's children, you have to have teachers, you have to have medical people, you have caterers. And then there's these 2 guys walking around with these long rifles. And I got to know Robert Watts, the associate producer, as I said. I go, Robert, what are they here for? And they go, oh, they're for widowmakers. I go, widowmakers? Well, the redwood trees are very high, 100 feet? And what may happen, maybe lightning strikes something, a branch will break. And not all those branches make it to the floor of the forest. They may hang up there. So if they would see them near a production, they'd clear everyone out of the way. And then these guys would start shooting at it. And the idea was, either A, they knock it down, or B, they convince everyone that that ain't falling.
It's not going anywhere. Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and again, this explains to me like why you need so many people.
Of course. It's why movies cost so much money.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that about the
Me
movie.
neither.
And
I
it's just
haven't-
like,
I didn't.
never consider that. That's amazing. Did you have much interaction with like Hamill or anybody?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I mean, okay. Okay. Harrison Ford was very standoff.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't deal.
Yeah.
Peter Mayhew was really friendly.
Yeah.
I told you we went to lunch. Carrie Fisher was really friendly too. Anthony Daniels, I just really don't remember.
Yeah. He would hate that.
He
He would hate
Sure he
that.
would.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say something that may be totally wrong.
Okay.
But you guys have to tell me.
Sure.
My understanding, George really didn't like to direct people.
Yes,
Okay.
that is true.
So is it true that when he hired like Mark Hamill, who was the surfer boy, just say, be yourself but more?
Yeah.
Or when he hired Carrie
That
Fisher,
sounds right.
who was
Yeah.
a Jewish princess, say, be yourself but
Yeah.
more?
Yeah, that was
Or
his main
Anthony
direction,
Daniels, who was this prissy actor. Okay.
Yeah.
Or what? Peter Mayhew,
Yeah.
who was this hospital orderly,
Yeah.
who, my understanding, when he walked in, where I forget who the producer was, and George are sitting at a desk,
Yeah.
interviewing people. This guy walks in, and just the way he moved.
Yeah, that's
he
it.
was-
They know that that's it.
I'm correct about all
Yeah,
this?
that
I
all
believe you.
sounds
Yeah,
very
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that Gary Kurtz
Gary
probably.
Kurtz was the
Here,
first
that
one,
was it.
yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Good memory.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you have any interaction with Gary? Do you remember Gary?
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I just like hearing these stories about these guys because
No,
you
it's
hear
just all
about
random,
these
yeah.
names so
Yeah.
long, and then you're like, what was that guy actually like? So it's
Who was your main point of contact that you would deal with from the production that would tell you what you
You mean in London or?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
well, we're coming up on your man.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
guy.
Okay.
Coming
so-
up on the Admiral.
Oh,
right
the
here.
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then we'll
Okay.
talk about that. in a
Yeah, yeah,
second.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you talk about making the eye?
Yes, I would love that.
All right. So Admiral Akbar, I made Admiral Akbar's eyes.
Which is
I'm very proud of that.
No,
Yeah.
it's an
I
impressive
machined it out of 3-inch diameter plexiglass and polished it. And if you notice, the eye isn't a sphere. It's an ellipsoid. It's sort of oval shape. So again, there was that whole thing. If I were to use the wire hoop to raise and lower the eyelid, there would be a gap. So I came up with this idea again of having rubber bands on the upper lid and lower lid, and then wires to open and close them.
Sure.
And it really worked out very, very well.
So the eye that I've seen, is that the original eye?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. At home, I actually have the prototype.
Yeah.
And it was neat because, there's the eye with the black center and whatever you call the iris, the colored
Yeah.
part. It's, I think, orange or yellow. On this one, Phil had tested, well, do I want red lines on it? So half of it's painted red.
Oh, that's fun.
And from that, he decided, oh, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So
then I assume they took, because there's other of his species here.
Yeah.
I assume they saw what you did and just
Oh
duplicated
no!
that.
I
or
think
did you...
we replicated all of them, but I think he's the only one whose eye blinks.
That makes sense.
And if you read this book of costumes of Star Wars,
I believe it's right over here.
okay, well, Brandon Allinger, who I deal
Yes.
with at Prop Store, was one of the authors,
yes.
and in it he tells where I forget the guy's name, the designer. He designed the shape of the body after inspiration of my bad posture.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
in
wow.
the book.
Wow.
Pretty
You
good.
know,
That's amazing.
So my bad posture finally worked out well.
Oh, that's so fun. Now, how would they keep the eye in there? Is it screwed in? Is it
no.
glued in? Like, what is
Yeah,
the-
there's in the black part, it's actually out of aluminum. I
okay.
tapped it. There's a screw that holds it in to the mechanism that can make the eye move up and down and so on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
You should save that and don't
yeah,
bring
I
it to
know,
Prop Store.
it
That'd be
really
like
is.
the holy grail for people.
I
Though.
know. I know.
It's like on your bookshelf, right?
Yeah, I
yeah,
have
it
it,
is.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's nice. Yeah.
It's just there.
Should we talk about Nime Num?
I would love to.
Okay, all
I would
right.
love to.
Okay.
Why
Anytime
not?
anyone ever asks me, should we talk about Nine Numb? I
Well,
say
yeah,
yes.
it's an instant yes.
I'm a broken record. I know
No,
about the
no,
order you
no.
want
I
to
love
do
it.
things.
I love it.
Okay, so what's the story? People were in the creature shop when it starts, and they make all these maquettes. Those are miniature sculptures of each creature. Maybe there could have been 3 dozen. I forget. They were like 8, 10 inches high. And then at the appropriate time, George Lucas comes in with other head honchos, and they go, okay, now, this creature is a foreground creature. That means the eyes have to blink, the mouth has to work, maybe there's cables to make the cheeks move. Oh, that's a background creature. That one, basically, it's going to be on an actor, nothing moves, he's going to bob it around. And then they have intermediate ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually on location on the set with Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian, and he's going to be flying the Millennium Falcon. And George decided that Nine Nub is supposed to be next to him. Well, Nine Nub was a background creature.
Sure.
And
Nothing
he's in the
moved.
background right there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And so George, and there's a meeting with me and George, and of course Phil Tippett, and Phil's doing all the talking. I'm not. And George says, "Well, in England, could we make it where the eyes blink and the mouth moves?" And Phil goes, "No. I mean, we have to do that in Marin County."
Yeah.
The next thing I know, we're stuffing Nine Nub in my suitcase.
Oh my God.
And I'm flying back from London to Marin County. And I arrive and I meet the associate producer in Marin County was Jim Bloom. And he says to me, "Stuart, don't worry how many hours you put in. We have to get this done in 2 weeks." And I never heard that. It's
Yeah.
usually like, "Oh, don't go into overtime or whatever."
yeah.
So
It's like, get it done.
Yeah, get it done.
Yeah,
And,
make it look good.
I mean, when I say working on film is 10 times worse and 10 times better than you could imagine.
Yeah.
And this is one of those 10 times better.
I'm sure.
When the full force and money of it. Oh, I got a comment on when it went into the star
Yeah,
streaking.
the hyperspace, yeah.
That turns out to be the simplest effect to do.
Yeah.
Basically, you have a star field, all these dots, and you take the camera and you move in on it, and
Oh,
it
sure.
streaks.
Yeah.
Now, my understanding on Star Wars, people thought that was a big effect. Okay, so you never know. Okay, so going back to Nine Up. So anyways, we finish it all, and then, stuff it in the suitcase. I fly back to London. I think I could have flown back on a weekend. Anyways, within a day or two, I'm on the set where they're filming it. I mean, there's Lando Calrissian, I forget the actor who was the puppeteer. He's just phenomenal.
It's Mike Quinn.
Mike Quinn.
Mike Quinn. Yeah.
Mike Quinn was
Who's a child at that point.
Yeah.
Very young.
I think he was 18.
Something like that. Yeah.
He could pick up anything and bring it to life.
Yeah.
They actually flew him to the U.S. then to do various creatures, I believe. And I think he lives in Los Angeles
Yeah,
now.
he worked for the Muppets after
For a
that
long
for a
time.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, we're on the set, and, there's Nime Nub. Mike Quinn is puppeteering it, the camera, the lights. They say the lines to Billy D. Williams. Okay, action, camera. He can't remember the line. Okay, he flubs it up. And this happens a few times. Ultimately, they end up going action, roll camera, telling him the line while the film is rolling so he can repeat it back. I think he still screwed it
That's
up,
so funny.
and then eventually they got it,
Look, he's very handsome.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
He's very smooth.
yes.
Okay, that's one of my stories. You could be around
That's a good
someone,
story.
you see that, oh my God, that person has beautiful hair,
Yeah.
or this person has eyes,
Yes,
or
the
skin.
chin dimple, whatever.
Everything,
Yeah.
But when you're around some of these actors or actresses and they have everything,
Yeah.
all your social feelings of, oh, I shouldn't stare at someone. You can't help it.
No,
You're
totally.
a little kid.
100%.
And if they're your
100%.
heart thumb, forget it, And yes, to be around some of these people was just amazing.
You said he was at the Savoy Hotel.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, right?
Yeah. Okay. So what the story is there.
Yeah.
So would they put us up in an okay hotel, and somehow I think, and I told you the driver would pick us up. I think one point we went by the Savoy Hotel. I forget, maybe. Well, we were told Harrison Ford was there, and I'm going, oh my God, is he ever uppity? He has to be staying at this real expensive hotel, And then, okay, what dailies are, you shoot the film one day, it's processed at night. The next day they have a work print. It's probably without sound. And the poobahs, the head guys, review it. I happened to be sitting in one of those one day, and it was a close-up of some actor shot the previous day. I don't think it was Harrison Ford, but everyone could see this guy really looked tired, which meant you had to reshoot it.
Sure.
How much could it cost to reshoot it?
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me, if a key actor wants to be put up in a good hotel, it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's earned it. Yeah.
One day shooting.
Yeah, instead of $300,000 extra dollars or
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
it's going to cost. Yeah,
It's
interesting. Dailies probably aren't really a thing anymore
no,
because you
I
can just
guess
watch
not.
it back right away.
I guess.
Yeah, they would
so.
do it that night. They'd have to they would watch it all and know what was happening.
Yeah.
I really learned how
It's
important
instant
it is.
watching
Like, there are scenes like in the forest here where you see who knows how many stormtroopers and rebel forces and everything, and it's all explosions, and everyone's watching it, and then you look at it the next day, and you see that there's one extra stormtrooper in the upper left-hand corner, and he's staring at the camera.
Oh, sure.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
You have to see dailies. And,
Which again is something you could fix now.
oh, yeah.
So easily, Yeah.
Oh, even then they would do it by optical, but yeah,
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
it was more involved then.
Yeah. The optical printer is very cool. I just want to talk about the optical
Go
printer.
for
It's
it.
like very cool.
It's
They
a
have
lost
it.
art form.
I think they have it at Lucasfilm. I think you can see it in the offices now. I think it's
Okay.
still
I
there.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But it always reminds me of like when you see like the old animation
Stands,
printers
yeah.
and like it's got all the different. There's one level that's the background, one level that's like next in front of it.
Multi-plane camera. Yeah.
But it's amazing that someone figured out that's how you do that.
Yeah,
You know?
well, I think it was in the 20s, and I forget
Yeah.
who did it.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, like I won that Technical Achievement Award.
Yeah.
It's only a piece of paper. It's not an Oscar.
Yeah.
It's given on a different night than the Academy Awards, and it's to acknowledge people who made all these significant contributions
Yeah.
to, well, okay. I'm working on Ghostbusters. I'm walking on the Columbia set. Standing next to me is John DeCure, the set decorator who would work on Cleopatra and who knows what else. And of course, wise ass me who knows how to put his foot in his mouth at any opportunity. All of a sudden I go to him as we're walking towards one of the stages. You know, John, you know what this is about? This is about photons hitting off a surface, bouncing, going through space, going through the glass camera lens, and moving electrons on film. And he goes, no, this is about entertaining people.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I think that sums up the entertainment
is,
industry
yeah.
where it's like
Yeah.
there's two camps of like we're
Yeah.
doing something important, like it's a magical chemical
Yeah.
effect, and you're like, no, people just we gotta sell
Yeah,
popcorn.
well,
And have fun.
I was part of the technical people
Yeah.
that work towards that entertaining
Totally.
people.
Do you remember how you found out you were going to get the achievement from the Academy?
Yeah, well, what it was, okay, the Oscars, you have an envelope open. The Technical Achievement Award, they announced it beforehand.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, I guess committees decide. So it turned out it was going to be in Los Angeles when I thought I was going to be back in California, and I was still in London.
Yeah.
And as I told you, well, as you can see, I'm sort of a character. They really like me in the production office. And Robert Watts said, we'll pay for you, all expenses paid, to fly from London
That's
to LA
great.
to pick up your award.
Yeah.
And they put me up at the Beverly Hills Hotel, which at that point was the big thing. And I remember people said, Stuart, make sure, you know, they said they're paying for the room, but make sure that if you order a drink, you know.
That's covered too. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I go up to the lady behind the counter, and again, she's, you know, probably some gorgeous actress at that point. And I say to her, so what do they cover? And she even looks surprised. And she goes, they're covering everything.
Wow.
So I think I
Have more than
some-
one drink.
Yeah, more than one
Yeah,
drink.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't really abuse it. But,
Yeah. What was the ceremony like?
well, you know, what it was like. Well, okay, so it was a big thing. I was going. Gail Samuelson in London. They had this typewriter with really big text, you know, I guess to print out for actors. So she printed up my acceptance speech we came up with. So I go to the ceremony, you know, there's really good food, various people awards, acknowledgement, and Lloyd Bridges, Jeff Bridges' father,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the one
yeah.
who presented the award to me. And
Yeah.
I go up and I chickened out. I just thanked everyone.
Oh, that's-
I went
yeah.
back in the
Yeah.
chair. I didn't read my speech or whatever.
I'm sure it's scary.
For me, it was.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of wanted to be a background person.
Sure.
And hell, now I'm
Now-
having a
now you're a
documentary
forefront
made
person.
about
Yeah.
me. I'm
Oh,
not a
yeah,
background
yeah.
person.
That's so great. What was Robert Watts like? Because it feels like people really liked him.
He was just a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, what else there to say?
Yeah.
I think he's since passed away.
Yeah, recently.
Died a few years ago.
Did
yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But made it. He was 94.
He
or
went to
something
Dial
like
of
that. He was-
Destiny premiere, the last Indiana Jones film. So he
Yeah.
came to that.
I see.
And I think that was it for him after that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
yeah, I don't know. My memories are just very good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'd have to deal with them.
Yeah.
I don't know
Great.
what to say.
Yeah.
He produced
yeah.
tons of great films.
Yeah. He worked on 2001.
Yeah, well, that's right. He
Which is
did, didn't
crazy.
he? Yeah.
And
Well,
you
I
worked
worked
on
on 2010. Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I really like 2010.
Oh,
seen that a
good. At
long
least
time.
someone
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I really like it. I think I like that it's not trying to be 2001.
Yeah.
You know, it's like different and the tone is different, and I think that's cool. What did you work on that?
Okay, well, we worked on The Star Child,
Cool.
which
the thing.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
worked on, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
here's Wicket.
Yeah.
Boy, that we
We'll
could
talk
tell
about him in
you
a
with
second.
He's
okay,
in this
yeah,
for
yeah.
a while.
Okay, we all knew this was at Boss Film, Richard Edlund's company, doing the effects for 2010. We all knew this was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ever an iconic image. So it turns out that the head was made, I guess, fiberglass underneath, and then they build up layers of like food grade gelatin, and you build up a layer You paint it on, and then you paint a layer with little blue and red lines for blood vessels, and then you paint more layers. And the effect is it makes it look like skin when the light goes on it. If you just put on makeup powder, it's flat.
Sure.
Okay, so of course it had eyelids, and my job was to make the blinking mechanism, and I was a blinking mechanism.
You're the blink guy.
Yeah, I'm the blink guy. And this was, of course, everything is completely rushed. The eyelids are made out of that gelatin. We finally get it all together, and they have to shoot it, and the gelatin's too thick, and the eye blink doesn't work. And that's another case where the paycheck cleared.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
What in that moment are you mad at yourself? Are you mad at the gelatin? Like, are you mad at other people? What is the?
No.
It just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone knows.
Yeah.
You know, I've just we're professionals.
Sure.
You know, I mean, you do your job the best you can,
Yeah.
and hope and pray and hope you have luck.
Now, for these special editions, George made the Ewoks blink.
Yes, he did.
Oh, did he?
Are you upset about that?
No,
As the
I'm
blink
glad
guy?
to hear because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
look so goofy to me without blinking.
Yeah. Does that bother you that things have been changed, or
have you watched them, or have you watched the special editions?
You know, I didn't. I don't think I did.
Oh, yeah, they've put-
whatever.
there's like-
whatever is on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just saw it. Is
There's
that
like
the stuff?
CG stuff in it now.
Okay,
Starting in like the late 90s.
I
George
didn't
began
know
to
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Go
that.
back and fix them. Well,
Yeah.
fix them is a subjective
quote
word,
unquote.
but- Yeah, I know. So
I'm sorry. You asked me a question. It was like
I asked. Well, he's gone back and changed
Yeah.
things. Does that bother you that
No.
things have gone away? No.
no. I mean,
Because you worked on Sice Noodles too, right?
yes.
And she's now CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah, yeah. I made the lips work.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
on. Yeah,
She looks great in the original.
I
Like,
think
she
so.
looks
It's a
very
great
cool.
puppet. I mean,
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
puppets
Yeah.
look great. I
Boy,
mean,
I remember whoever was puppeteering. She was dancing to
Yeah.
some music, and they were playing that over and over during rehearsal,
sure.
nonstop.
That's so funny. I think it was that Tim Rose. I think
think
was
so.
Could be.
who was
Could
Admiral
be.
Akbar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's rumors for the 50th they're going to release the original film as it was. So,
I heard that.
so,
yeah,
I, don't know,
I
yeah.
hope so.
It's exciting.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So so you're on location here. We're in upstate California.
Yeah.
I assume it's easier to get back and forth from Marin than.
Oh no,
No,
it's
it's
amazing.
still pretty far?
Essentially, San Francisco is half the distance between
Oh, wow.
L.A. and Northern
I
California.
don't think I realized it was that
yeah,
far. Wow.
Yeah, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, there were so many of us. They just put us up in all these little hotels all in, up and down the coast.
Sure,
and,
sure.
You know, gave you $50 per diem, so you go into town in the weekend, and everyone has all the cash registers are full of $50
That's very
bills.
funny. What? Can we talk about the Ewoks a little bit?
Okay, so should we talk about Warwick?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have to correct me if I'm right or
Okay,
wrong
great.
about this.
I love this job.
My understanding on the original way the script was is that you had the Ewoks in their village in the trees, and there was like 4 head guys,
Yeah,
head
sure.
poobahs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to be featured. Okay. What it is, you had these head actors, you know, and then in England they hire all these background little people. Maybe 24 of them, I believe that, and they're the Ewoks that run around in the costumes and so on. And they put an ad in the paper, and one of the people who responds, I guess, is the mother of Warwick Davis, and he was 11 years old at the
he's very
time.
small.
And I think he's 3 feet 6 inches high.
I meant he was like, what was he like 9 back then or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
Oh, he was 11. I believe.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's right.
he was very small.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think the genius of George Lucas is that he's constantly observing what's going on as the movies being filmed.
Yeah.
And he's going, you know, maybe this doesn't work. We'll drop it out. Oh, look at that. We'll put it in.
Yeah.
So he sees the way Warwick moves. This kid was amazing. He was like, what Tinkerbell.
Yeah,
You know?
sure.
He would just like jump over a chair his own
Yeah.
height.
Yeah.
And so my understanding, George rewrote the script where it was now Wicket.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I looked up like he knew he could like imitate a dog or something.
Sure.
Okay. So what's my story? So whenever you saw the Ewoks in their village, that was actually built in London.
Yes.
At the the Elstree Studios. And as an aside, to make it look good, some of the English mold makers flew to the redwood forest, made rubber molds of the surface of the redwood trees, flew them back to London, and that's how they, out of plaster, they made the outside of the tree sections
wild.
you saw. And okay, too much information.
No,
it's
it's
the same
fascinating.
thing. When in Jabba's palace, whenever it was inside, and it was a set in London, and there was sand in the ground, the effects guys imported sand from the desert near
wow.
Yuma, Arizona.
Wow.
Who knows how many
Specifically
tons?
from Yuma? Wow.
Yeah, so it's, so it would be
Authentic
real
feel.
time thing.
Wow.
Okay. So let's see. I go on all my addendums. I lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
Warwick Davis? Or is
Yeah,
that-
on Warwick Davis.
Okay.
Okay. So now whenever the Ewoks are like we're looking at in the forest, that's again near the California-Oregon border. Now that's like one of the head Ewoks we probably saw. Where so they hire all the little people in the U.S. They background people. They don't bring the ones from London. But they did fly, I guess, the 4 head Ewoks. And I distinctly remember they have little tiny lounge chairs for them. And they're sitting in a clearing among the trees. And they're talking among themselves. They're going, when are we going to be filmed?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
they flew us out here.
No one tells them.
No one told them
Yeah.
that it's all about Wicked now.
Oh boy. I imagine that's like going to see a movie you worked on. I've heard you talk about this. Going to see a movie you worked on, then you're like, oh, my name's not in the credits. Well, all right.
It's gone.
Well, I tried.
Well, one of my memories of that with actors,
Yeah.
I worked on the 2 of the Star Trek motion pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And there's one scene where, I don't know, it's the Enterprise is being attacked. The door opens to the bridge. There's whatever alien soldier walks in. He's shot, and he's supposed to drop dead. Well, the actor who was hired to do that, when he was told what his part was, he said, I'm not doing that. I want more of a major thing. So I guess the casting people got a hold of his agent.
Yeah.
And his agent said, you're going to do that part
Yeah,
or you're
man.
never going to work in this
Wow.
town again.
Yeah.
That's bold.
So that's
That guy was bold.
That's the other side of people
course.
going, I was cut out of
Oh
the
my
film.
gosh. What was the difference, both behind the scenes and I guess on the sets, for Star Trek versus Star Wars? Was the vibe any different?
Oh,
Or it was-
gosh.
What was Star Trek like? Give us-
Oh, the first Star Trek. Okay.
Yeah.
It was written by Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah.
The director was Robert Weiss, who was the editor on Citizen Kane. Robert Weiss realized that Roddenberry was going to constantly change his mind.
Sure.
So he demanded that the film be shot in the order of the script.
Oh, wow.
So therefore, if Roddenberry changed something, like in the beginning,
Yeah.
we already shot that.
Yeah.
Now you have to understand what this meant. Let's say you were to have, I don't know, some set up that's at the beginning, middle, and end of the film.
Yeah.
This meant that they shot it and then they knocked it down so they could shoot
Wow,
the rest of the film and then rebuilt it.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the Enterprise in the bridge when
Insane sentence.
Yeah,
A very
when I was
cool
on the
sentence. Yeah.
William Shatner is telling Robert Weiss how he should shoot the film, and Robert Weiss listens to him and ignores him. And,
Bill, I worked on Citizen Kane. I know what I'm doing.
he didn't even say
He just didn't
he
care.
didn't have to. Okay, now this is neat. Okay, so are we at the part where? Oh no, this isn't the bridge that 3CPO walks across. So.
Yeah, he's about to
Okay.
They're
be in the
about to
chair,
try-
and the chair's
put
going to
them.
float. That's about to
Okay.
happen
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So we're in London here. This is.
Yeah, I guess this would be London. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Warwick and a very
at 'em.
cute baby one.
So you worked on the first Star Trek, and then what was the other
Then
one?
I worked on the fourth one.
Oh, okay.
That's what Leonard Nimoy directed.
Yes.
And they built I was among the crew that built this big, whale.
Oh, yes.
And I asked which eye is supposed to blink, and the guy in charge
He's the eye
pointed
guy.
at the mold, that one. He was wrong.
Oh no! Oh
And
no!
Another case where the paycheck cleared.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did a good job.
Yeah.
You know.
Did
So-
you work on the Ewok masks at all?
Yeah. Sort of
with
my
the
well,
mouths, maybe, or
Well, my job on location was to sort of coordinate the people who were constantly repairing them and fixing them. You know, because they were, fur and things fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to feel for the Ewoks. They essentially wore fat suits underneath.
Yeah.
Foam things to make it look like they're bigger.
Yeah.
It's very hot and sweaty.
yeah,
God knows what they had to go through to go to the bathroom.
sure.
So we had all these people dressing them and so on. I actually organized a water balloon fight. So they'd bring the Ewoks on a big school bus from whatever hotel they were at. And at the hotel, I organized in the hotel rooms, various of the little people were filling water balloons. And then we brought them. And then during lunch, when the crew was coming to eat, we had massive water balloons
Insane.
pillaring the crew.
I mean, it seems like it's a fun set. It
It
seems
looks
like
like-
you're having a good time, and like, I don't know. I'm glad that your experience on these was positive.
Yeah.
Overall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You were a PA though, right? On
Yeah, well,
for
that
these-
was my
can you
title.
okay.
Yeah,
so,
that
you,
was-
so you did effects and production work, or
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Essentially, whenever I was building the stuff, I was, whatever my credit is. And then when I was on location, I was quote unquote a production assistant.
okay, cool.
And so they put me in charge of like, just minding all the people that were fixing the Ewok costumes in the forest. And I got to work with the Ewok, the little people, just a real lot.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these people were just like, they worked at the phone company. Or
Sure.
I think one was an accountant.
Yeah.
And some were actors and actresses.
And now they've done conventions for 40
Yeah,
years.
40
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I know.
Bought their
Well,
house.
Some of them are no longer
Yes.
with us.
No, totally. Yeah. Why did you not go into convention stuff earlier?
We had to twist his arm for that.
I'm curious.
Well,
I basically twisted his arm
okay.
for that.
First off, it's hard to know now, but I'm sort of a private person.
Yeah.
I was getting very nervous. I don't know.
Yeah.
I stopped working in the business in the mid '90s. So I did work on Anthony and Claire Bueno's cleaning up the town, Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
Really
I
good.
gave to that on
Oh, you
Kickstarter.
did?
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good
And,
time.
God, I have to thank Mark Wilson,
Yeah.
who was the puppeteer and sort of Slimer, to introduce me to them. So I did work on their thing a little.
Yeah.
But, I was moving on in my life. I
Yeah.
was, living. My wife and I have had dogs, repairing the house. And then, I just wasn't part of that world.
Yeah.
And then I showed some of my PowerPoint slides of working on Ghostbusters in front of an animation class. And at the end of the class, the teacher, Michelle, came up to me and said, I think me and some friends would like to make a documentary of you.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. Yeah.
And it's just been blossoming. It's
Yeah.
just been wonderful.
Yeah. Are you happy that you're getting back out there and talking to people? Like, is that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
seem to like it, right?
I really do.
Yeah.
And if anything, I learned it really means a lot to me that I'm doing things that mean so much to
Yeah.
people.
Totally.
It's like we sort of talked about, where maybe different Italian towns, have different
their saints.
saints.
Yeah.
And this just brings meaning to people's
Yeah.
life. So
Yeah.
I feel good about it now.
Yeah.
And truthfully, I mean, all this stuff is just going to go away when I go away. So it's great to get it out in the world
Totally.
for me.
To have it on the record, it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many people that were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might as well tell everyone.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah. Go ahead.
oh, and less of us are around. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you doing when you stopped working on movies?
Well, what it was, my father had died around then, so I had to deal with his estate stuff. And at that, I mean, okay, when I worked at Lucasfilm or Industrial Light and Magic in the 80s, every month or every astrological sign, they'd set up tables in the stage maybe 30 feet long, and they had just all this wonderful food.
Yeah.
And everyone had a great time. Fast forward to the mid-90s, I'm working in a warehouse with no heat on various effects like for Air Force One and Starship Troopers. Next door are the CGI people in their $800 chairs, and they have barbecues every week.
Yeah.
And I'm going, this isn't fun anymore. Also, I really like to innovate things. And now, you're coming up with new ideas with films, but it wasn't as, working on a new optical printer or the light panel. So I decided it was time.
Sure. What you mentioned Starship Troopers. What makes Phil Tippett good at what he does?
Everything.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
I mean, he is just a genius. I mean, he's an incredible sculptor. He knows stop motion animation. He knows the history of film. He's good at managing people. He's just very, very talented. He's an inspirational figure. You want to do things to help him. You want to be part of his crew.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I appreciate him more as time goes on when I compare him to other people I worked around.
You just spoke with him again, right? He
Yeah.
reached out to you. Yeah,
It was amazing.
Yeah.
He reached, and he's going to be in our documentary,
Yes, he is. Yes,
which
he
is
is.
a big deal.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
His studio is very cool. We got to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I was doing a show up in San Francisco, and we got connected somehow, and we got brought around.
Oh,
and
that's
it's like
cool.
there's stuff everywhere, and they were doing stop motion for Skeleton Crew, which is one of the new Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
So like we got to see the
Oh,
thing, and then like
lucky
a
you. That's
year later we're watching the show, and
Nice.
we're like, that's the
That's-
thing. That's the thing right there.
okay, so I was at the Phil Tippett Studios in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And what's the story? This is when they were going the transition from stop motion animation to, essentially on a computer screen. And they made the stop motion animators didn't have the skills to sit at a keyboard.
Sure.
So they built what's known as the dinosaur input device,
Yes.
which was the skeleton of the raptor. Maybe it was like
This is for
8
Jurassic Park.
yeah,
Yeah.
for
yeah.
Jurassic Park. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so it's a skeleton, and at each joint they had a thing called a potentiometer. It could feed the rotation of that joint next to the next one.
Sure.
And I think there were 64 of them, and that fed into a cable that went into the computer. So when the stop motion animator would move it, the stick figure would move.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah.
could put the bones and the skin and everything.
Sure.
Okay. The problem was those little wires were breaking. So I flew up. Phil had me fly up for a week, and then Gary Platek resoldered all those wires with a wire that wouldn't break. And why do I bring this up? Because this is in the category, there's no justice in life and there's less in film. I got a screen credit for doing that.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
Hey.
Totally
That's
no
amazing.
That's
though.
good though. You're
Yeah.
in Jurassic Park.
And though I would, in my career, I'd usually mock the title of the screen credit. Screen credits, Academy Awards are real important
Yeah.
for getting your next job.
Sure.
No
Yeah.
matter what you did, that's real important.
I mean, if you can say you did it. I mean, the good thing about like IMDb now is you can put uncredited. Are there things that you worked on that are not on your IMDb?
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
but it's interesting. Over time, they change it, and my records would show that I had screen credits on some films, but then IMDb doesn't show that
Oh,
I have it
interesting.
now. So
Weird.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, we
I-
should add those back.
Yeah, I
on.
mean,
We
his
could-
resume, I've seen he gave me his resume when
Yeah.
we first met,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
whoa. I mean, it's like things you wouldn't even
Totally.
think of,
Well, well, my memory is because of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Before that time, let's say you have the chief electrician and his best boy, that's his assistant, and you don't have credit for all the other electricians. They are the ones who started to put everyone's name on.
Yeah.
My understanding.
Yeah. And that's got to feel good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's got to be
Yeah,
nice
it's
that,
it's a good thing to do.
It is.
because so long, like you watch those movies from the 50s or 60s or whatever,
it's like
and you're
nobody.
like, there's only 12 people in the
Yeah.
credits. You're like,
know?
I know more people worked on this.
Oh, when I worked on the first Star Trek motion picture, there was this big old grip. I mean, he had these massive hands, and he could lift it's called a 10K. That's a 10,000 watt light. Who
Yeah.
knows what? He could just lift it up and
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
down.
yeah.
And you talk to the films he worked on over the years. They're amazing. He never got a screen
No, of
credit.
course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll have to send me that full resume, and I will update your IMDb with all the other ones.
It's
Yeah.
extensive.
Yeah. This is a dumb question. Did you run into Darth Vader at all on set?
No, I didn't. But
Just
my
like, hey, Darth.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but what I do remember is, and this is total exaggeration, one person, whoever was the actor inside, didn't have a very good voice.
Yes.
And he didn't understand why they had hired James Earl Jones.
funny.
So,
Yeah, he has it's like a British.
Yeah, you can find
All
stuff
right, Luke,
online.
get over here. It's
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
video online
Yeah.
of it undubbed, and it's very funny.
really?
yeah,
That's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to find.
Yeah.
But apparently he just had no idea and was like shocked. So
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess a Darth Vader story. Okay, his makeup when he in Return of the Jedi when he's dying and the
Yeah.
mask comes off. Well, that was done by Peter Rob King, and he's from London, and on location up in the redwood forest area or redwood trees, I needed a haircut, and so Peter's going to give me a haircut,
Yeah.
and we're talking, and he's clipping away, and I go in the hotel that night and I look in the mirror and I go, this is the best haircut I've had in my life.
There's a reason that
I
guy
know.
was good at
I
his
know.
job. Yeah.
This was amazing. Of course, the fool I am, I mentioned that to the person who does my hair and I go, oh, why did I say that?
Yeah. You should have taken. You got to get the picture then to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
it. Look at this.
So, me put my, so.
That's so funny.
I don't know. So working with George, can you talk about that? Like what he was like? I know you weren't like best friends or
Yeah.
anything like that,
Yeah.
but what was that like?
Working with George, first, how many thousands or tens of thousands of people has he had to deal with this his
lot.
career?
A lot, yeah.
And basically, he doesn't give eye contact. There was one time
I've heard that.
where there's this long hallway, ILM somewhere, and he's coming towards me, and I'm going towards him, and I made it either I move over, so either he's going to look at me or hit into me. That's my George interaction.
Very
go.
funny.
But then again, I told you how I was, with Nime Num
Yeah.
and Lando Calrissian. Oh, I have a really good George story on that. Okay. The English crew, they just didn't want to ask questions of George. Oh, my God. So at one point, George came on to whatever set I was working on, and he told people, well, I want this character to be dressed green and that character to be dressed gray or whatever. So after he left and, goes on, people are going, well, what color? Who did he say to what? So I go, well, I'll find out. So I walk to a different sound stage and I find George, and they were shooting a shot where he was on a platform with the camera, I don't know, maybe 15 feet high. And I walk up the ladder and I start asking him a question, and people overhear me. And he tells me, and the English crew starts laughing. And George looks down to him, something like, more people should come up to me and ask questions. And not guess for himself. Yeah. And then there was the other thing where you had all these sound stages and people are working and building stuff. And George would go from soundstage to soundstage and say to these guys who are, they're doing what they think is right, or they doing what they think will impress George. And George goes, why don't you just do it this way? It's simpler. So that's, he was just very, very practical.
Well, you wonder when they're like, don't make eye contact, don't talk to him, all that stuff. You wonder if that comes from him, or if that is like one time one person got in trouble and then they were like, we got to change the rules. Like, you wonder if he was like, I wish more people would, like I'm here, talk to me, whatever. I don't know. Here's your guy.
Oh yeah. There
So
is.
why did they have to ship him back? Why couldn't they do that in London?
Well, we physically couldn't have done it. It would have to be the English people.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah.
I'm just guessing now. Good question.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. In a certain sense, we would have lost control.
Yeah.
And we were all set up to do it and have the people and so on.
Yeah.
And, when it's that big of a production, that's like rounding error. You need the shot.
They should have just gotten a plane. They should have just
Yeah, I
bought
know,
a
rather
plane
than
for
buying
you
plane
guys.
tickets
You're
each
just
time.
going back and forth so much.
Yeah.
Like,
Star Wars plane.
buy a 747. Yeah.
Oh, there's the bunker that's going to explode.
Yeah. Spoilers. Spoilers for everybody.
I know. Sorry,
There's
guys.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize until I saw it a week ago how much Wicket is in it.
He's in it
He
so
became
much.
a star. He became like a star of the film. There were dolls. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
all this stuff. you
Yeah.
know?
He got other movies.
He
They
did.
made other Ewok
Yeah.
movies. So I have a gigantic poster in my apartment for it. But
He's been in almost every Lucas film or film after that or
Yeah.
like Star Wars. Yeah.
it really like kickstarted his career.
Yeah.
He's had an
And
insane
so
career.
many people. Isn't
Totally.
it amazing?
Yeah. How far away were you guys staying from here? Like, how far is your
You
hotel?
know, I forget.
Yeah.
Again, it was various places along the coast, so I
Yeah.
just don't remember.
I mean, it feels like you're in the middle of the forest, but also the highway could be 30 feet this way, and we wouldn't know.
I think
you
it
know?
was farther than that.
Yeah.
You have to remember. So it's not just that. You know, in the areas where they're not trees,
Mm-hmm.
you have all these 40-foot trailers. There'll be
Mm.
the effects trailer, which has essentially tools to build anything.
Sure.
It's like a fully stocked hardware store. You have the wardrobe. You have ones with the Ewok creatures.
Yeah.
You have makeup. Like I got to know the wardrobe people, and I had a problem. I had a jacket, and one of my little 35 millimeter cameras fell out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I went to them, and they sewed in some Velcro. For
Amazing.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
It's good to be friends with those
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah.
When the Ewok heads or costumes or whatever would break, what was the most common thing that would break on them?
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Were the national parks people like how
No,
on
this
you-
was private.
this was private?
This
Okay.
was private stands, so they were allowed. Oh, let's talk about blowing up redwood
There you
trees.
go.
Yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
So when you would see some bright flash either from whatever gun or
Yeah.
chicken walker and the tree turn into essentially toothpicks or splinters,
Yeah.
beforehand the effects guys would cut with a chainsaw like 4-inch deep gashes in the 2-foot diameter tree. And then they would put in it this stuff called primacord. It's like the thickness of a pencil. It looks like a white plastic cord, and it's stuffed with this incredibly high explosive. And so they'd line it in it, and when they detonate it, essentially the tree would again turn
Yeah,
to
dust.
just dust
Yeah.
or splinters.
Yeah. Wow. Wild to be the guy to figure that out. You know?
I know.
Like,
Well, I actually let me take a drink of water.
Yeah,
I
totally.
actually decided I was going to get with 1 second.
yep. He's drinking water right now. He's taking
Look,
some
look, look.
sips.
Yeah.
I expected whiskey.
All right, hang on.
We'll talk about the whiskey story in a second.
Oh, great.
So
Okay.
yeah, I thought I'd get a powder license, which is to be do explosives. And first off, I had to go down and have my fingerprinted done, and maybe an FBI check.
Yeah.
And then you have to, anyways. I realized you could die doing this.
Yeah.
So I never got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, whiskey story.
Segue.
Segue, bad segue. On the set, on the studio, the L Street studio, they had a restaurant. Well, it wasn't just a restaurant, it was a bar. And a number of the crew would be sitting at the bar and they'd be drinking a pint of beer, and they had one or two more coming to temperature. Right.
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay, well, they invited me over for a drink. Oh, well, of course. And I have Guinness, right? Guinness.
Yeah.
And then they buy me a shot of scotch or whiskey. Oh, yeah, this is good. I didn't realize that when you mix those two
Oh,
things,
sure.
you're going to get a
dangerous.
headache. So that night, I don't know if I was throwing up in the hotel. I forget. Anyways, I come in the next morning and, there's the guys. I go, oh, how you doing? I go, oh, God, that was a real purgative experience.
Yes,
Oh, they were laughing. But you see, I think by doing these things, it's almost like I'm passing the test. You know?
Totally. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
Well, they're seeing if you're cool.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that guy can hang out with us. That guy, we like that
yeah,
guy.
or that's the guy we put into place.
Yes,
and it was
yeah.
so interesting because, I speak English, they speak English. So, you go in and I'm in the production office and the driver's supposed to take me somewhere, and he looks at me and you're going, "What, are you fit?" I go, "Oh, yeah, I feel okay." No, that meant, "Are you fit to go?" So, yeah, they were speaking a different
It
language.
is English, but it's not
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
at
it's
the
a
same
different
time.
English.
Yeah. What was the catering like on this?
Okay, catering. Well, on location, okay, you always have like around 10 o'clock craft service come around. So in London, one thing they'd have were Scottish eggs, which were like I guess hard-boiled eggs covered with some like meat burger, lamb burger, deep fried. Guaranteed indigestion, but I love them.
I've seen them. I've never tried one, but
I'll eat anything.
Oh, okay,
Neil. I'll eat anything.
Now I'm like Googling it just because I don't know what this
Scottish
is.
eggs, yeah. So, but
Oh, gross.
yeah. What do you
Yeah.
mean gross? That's good food for me.
I stand by what I said.
Yeah,
Wrapped
I agree.
Okay.
Wrapped in hard-boiled egg, wrapped in sausage meat, coated in breadcrumbs, and then deep fried.
It sounds
Yeah.
very intense.
That's
fascinating.
That's I call that death food.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
actually, in film, we talk about food. They're the essential food groups:
Yeah.
tobacco, sugar, fat, and I forget the other one.
Yeah.
Whatever it
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
it was bad.
Yes.
So
Yes.
okay, so like we're on location in the redwood forest or anywhere, and they just have incredible catering for lunch. I mean, you might have lobster tail and salmon and steaks. Well, when we were up in the redwood forest, the whatever cater they hired was not very good, and the crew was ready to rebel.
Yeah.
And one day they disappeared, and he was replaced by another one.
Oh, wow.
Now, the thing is, my job was to get my people who I was supervising to work after lunch.
Totally.
Because free food and a lot of it and good, they
Yeah.
all wanted to go to sleep.
That's funny. I worked on one movie. If I'm working in stuff, it's usually like TV stuff.
Yeah.
But I worked on one movie, and the caterers got fired on that movie
Really?
too. I wonder if this is like a recurring, because that's the thing to keep people happy. It's like you
it's-
need that food to be good.
You
and
know,
I yeah.
Paycheck has to clear. They
Craft
got to be
services
good
can
food.
be really
yeah,
good,
totally.
There, I
There's
just
this
saw.
blink.
There
I
you go.
just saw a blink.
Yeah.
You know. Well, now we don't know if that's a CGI blink. do
That's
we?
true. I don't think
I
he
think they
touched
kept his
Akbar.
eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. The main things in this, what did he do? He added a musical number to the Java.
Yeah, they did.
That's a
The
different one.
Sarlacc pit.
The Sarlacc pit's different, and then they made the Ewoks blink, and those are the
Yeah.
ending they added
The
some stuff.
explosion. Is there explosion? No,
Maybe-
that's for Star Wars when they blow up the
Yeah,
Death Star. Yeah.
the celebration thing at the end
Yeah.
is newer.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they pan to different like locations and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes a bad movie experience for you?
A bad movie. Well, when I'm not sucked into the world of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
that relates like people go, well, what do you think when you see the effect you made on the film?
Yeah.
I go, I want to be sucked into the film by like everyone else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if I'm just looking at my effects and judging them, it's not working
Yeah.
for me. And that to me is one thing about Lucas's film. Like, let's say the camera is looking at Jabba's palace and it pans to the right and then it cuts somewhere else. In my mind, I know if that camera were to continue to pan, the world still exists.
Sure. Are you able to watch this as a piece of art without
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
about it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such an experience, like watching the bunker explode.
Sure.
I'll flash back on that.
Yeah.
Okay, this could be one of the scenes where maybe one Star Trooper is staring into the camera.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
It's hard to tell though.
Yeah, they want their moment.
So, like, that walking one would be like a stop motion animation
Yeah.
one, whereas when they had close-ups, they would like have the top of. I'm calling them chicken walkers. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's what people call 'em.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know, just build that as a full-size thing.
And that would be through an optical printer at this
No,
point.
no. When it was, let's say they needed. There's one scene where the Wookiee Chewbacca goes
Yeah.
inside and throws out who is ever
Yeah,
driving it, and that was done on a full-size top of a
Yeah.
chicken
Oh, wow.
walker, and that person was thrown onto essentially a big, large inflatable bed.
Sure. So right after Ghostbusters was 84?
Yeah.
So it's like right after this? Was that your next thing after this?
Yeah, because what happened, it was time for me to move back from Marin County to Los Angeles, and Richard Edlund had moved down and started his company, Boss Film, and his first job was 2010, and Ghostbusters. We did
Wow.
Ghostbusters first.
Wow.
And you were in charge of the whole creature shop.
Yes,
for that, right?
I ran the entire creature shop on Ghostbusters. I never did anything like that. I remember Phil was looking over the script before, and he was talking me into it. He read the Ghostbusters script and said, Stuart, at most you're going to need 15 people to make all these creatures. By the end, I was managing over 50 people,
Oh my
50 or
gosh.
60, because they really realized they had something big, and they
Totally.
just kept adding creatures.
Yeah. When you look at that movie, what is the thing you're the most proud of?
Getting through it alive.
Yeah, totally.
The reason was, I mean, if you read Claire Bueno's wonderful book about making Ghostbusters, what it is, when they did the film, of course, you're interviewing people, and there's only so much you could put in a documentary. So she had a book like over 500 pages, just transcribing what was going on. And there I relearned how it was totally rushed. They just didn't have
They
too
had like
much
a
time.
year, right? It
Yeah.
was, yeah.
It was just totally rushed.
Yeah. Is that exciting or is that scary for you
Oh, well,
in the moment?
in the moment, it was exciting and terrifying
Yeah.
because I do not want to fail people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my given. So, I would leave at the end of the day with like 100 things to do. I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
And then I'd come in the morning overloaded, and I learned just start doing any one of these things.
Yeah.
That will chill you. And then maybe I'm working, and then the phone rings, and there's a new problem that overrides any of the other things.
Yeah.
And it was constantly like that.
Did you have any like regular days? Like what time would you come in the morning?
I just forget.
Are you
Maybe
just
around
there all
9.
day though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up making even overtime on that.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. What would happen is, this is not digital. So if you had something like the Terror Dog, it had to be sculpted, and then a mold out of clay, and then a mold was made,
Yeah.
and then foam was put in, and then a hole was cut in the center for the actor to go in,
Yeah.
and then it had to be puppeteered and mechanized. So this took a lot of time. So we'd budget all the time, and then all of a sudden the production would call, that thing that we said we wanted in 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Well, we want it in 3 weeks. So that meant everything had to be shifted around. People had to work through the weekend.
Sure.
They made a lot of money, but they got burned out, which
Yeah.
means their efficiency went down.
Yeah.
So
Were you upset that you didn't work on the sequel or
no,
Yeah.
not at all.
you did it?
Yeah, well, that was also done at Lucasfilm, I think, under,
Oh, yeah.
in Marin County. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the
That's okay.
microphone. So there's the Death Star.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Were you on set during these sequences or no?
I don't remember.
You remember? Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And again, that was all optical printer putting in
Yeah.
all those little spaceships.
Can you talk about the optical printer? Like, what for people that don't know what it
Okay.
is?
Oh,
Like the
gosh.
basic, if you don't mind the basic
Oh, yeah.
process.
I always get in trouble doing it. Okay. Let's say, okay, right now we're looking at a scene. There are stars in the background. Okay. You'll have maybe a 4x8 foot sheet painted black with little holes in it, lighted from the back. You make an element, it's called with the stars. Okay, then in that scene, you had the set with, the actors in it, and then the metal grill work at the back of the spaceship, like right here. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to make what are known as holdout mats. That is, when you have that image of the star field where the other images like the metalwork of the spaceship and the actors are in, essentially they have to be clear on that piece of film that
Sure.
has the star field. So then you could put the image of the actors and the spaceship in the clear part. Is that working for
Yeah,
you
yeah,
at
yeah.
all?
No, that makes sense.
Okay, so how do you combine those pieces of film? Well, if you were to lay those pieces on film on top of each other, it just won't work. They won't all be in focus. So what it is, you have a light source and you have what's known as a projector, which really isn't, essentially the film comes down, pins go in and register it, the light goes in, and maybe this is the star field image. and then it goes through a very expensive lens to another projector. That is a thing where another piece of film, which might be the holdout matte, that might be clear everywhere except it's black wherever you want to put the picture of the spaceship and the actors. And then you have a camera, and that way you could combine that. You could essentially make a piece of film that has the star field with, white in the area.
Sure.
I know. What is, you're constantly flipping between negative and positive film, and I'm probably not doing justice to that.
Yeah.
So then you're taking these elements and you keep putting them in and realigning them and building them up. And it's a very slow and tedious process. It's even more slow because you don't do it with color film. You don't have control over a color film. So when they get the color film, the optical printer operator puts it in, and he puts in different filters like red, green, whatever it is, cyan, I forget, to essentially make 3 different black and white films, one for each of the primary colors.
Wow.
So you're operating on all of those, and then when you get all done, you go back and you put it into color.
Wow.
Does that help at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense.
And,
That's a wild process. I mean, how long would a shot take on that?
oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, that wasn't my
That
department.
feels like that would take weeks. It seems like that
yes.
takes forever.
I mean,
Yeah.
these guys were, I don't know if they were working 24 hours. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
And look, when you have like, a 24 spaceships in the back,
sure.
There weren't 24 spaceships, they had
Yeah.
to make what's called all of those elements and put them together.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see like, and what we just saw, they weren't moving. They were just fixed.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were just a painting. What is, matte painting?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's like a 4 foot 8 foot sheet, and you do paint the image on it.
I mean, you guys see how much art I have on my walls.
Yeah.
The dream
impressive.
is to get a matte painting. It's
Is it? Oh, okay, nice.
The dream. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
Matte paintings, they don't do them real well. Occasionally they do.
They don't really do them that much.
Yeah.
They occasionally pop up on eBay.
Okay,
Do they
yeah.
really?
Occasionally will.
The 4 by 8 foot sheet.
Yeah,
of
they're
glass?
gigantic. They're on like shower doors or whatever. Yeah. Someday. Someday.
Yeah, I know Mark Yursich. His father was, I forget his first name now. He was, I think it was Matt Yursich. I don't know. He was an excellent matte painter.
Yeah. It's just amazing. It's very cool that movies like this, you get everyone at the top of their game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone is the best at what they do. And it's like this wild confluence of like, you'll never get this talented a group
No.
of people together again. You know what I mean? Just they happen to get everyone because it's one of the biggest movies ever made. Like, and
Yeah.
they're lucky. They're lucky that it works out.
And, I talked about that whole thing of the you're going down the train track and some of them aren't the top or have certain issues. Well, shall we say they get thrown over like the Wookiee just did into,
Were there people that you worked with that you knew weren't working out instantly? Like you would know right off the bat that they weren't going to work? Or I don't know. I'm just curious.
Well, I can't remember. I remember on, oh gosh, what was it? It could have been the first Star Trek motion picture. And I would ask like the head guy, why did you hire that person in so many words? And he goes, because we needed more warm bodies. You know, sometimes you just need someone to
just
hold
need a guy.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Were you a Star Trek guy? Had you watched the show when it was on? Or
well, yeah, I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and I remember with friends going on some march in Burbank when I think they were canceling the show.
Oh, really?
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
But yeah, I'd watch a few.
Yeah.
But no, it was never a Star Trek guy all
Yeah.
the way.
I'm watching the show for the first time now, the original
The
show,
original-
and I'd never seen
You
it.
had never watched it?
I'd like seen an episode here or
it's so
there, but I'm
good.
like going through it, and it's very fun and like
There's some-
looks beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the thing about those old shows that
Yeah.
they're like shot on film, and you're just like you can make this look beautiful, and the color's amazing, and it's
I mean, people
really
trash that sometimes, but some of the episodes that are so
Yeah.
phenomenal. You
Yeah.
know, just in terms of story and everything. And I mean, Shatner's always fun and always
course.
great to watch.
Yeah.
so.
And same with the first movie is beautiful, like with Douglas Trumble working on all that stuff. It's like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
You were on the first team, so they
Yes.
they had separate teams that did the first
On
film, right?
Star Trek?
Yeah, the motion
Okay.
picture.
Bob Abel,
Yeah.
who did TV commercials, so on, was hired to do all the effects on the first Star Trek movie, and being kind, he didn't deliver. And he was fired. Now, before he was fired and I worked on it, my job, along with Gary Platek, was to come up with new effects. It was just a dream job.
Yeah.
And in the engineering school, I'd go in the engineering library at UCLA, and I noticed that there were these 2 books, and I think they were printed in the 1960s. And at that point, we were trying to beat the Russians. Sputnik, and there was this whole thing of training engineers. So these books had every conceivable physics experiment, and I bought them, and I would go through them, and we would film them, and that's how we came up with new effects for Star Trek. Now, it turns out on Star Trek, there was one thing where this big, bright energy probe materializes on the bridge of the Enterprise, and I was responsible for having that made outside.
That's a great scene.
When Abel was kicked off the job and Doug Trumbull took it over, he basically threw everything Abel did out except that effect that I did, and one other that Kathy Campbell and Bob Swarth did. Wow! But
if you go to your home, you have a signed picture from Gene Roddenberry.
Yes, I do.
Thanking him.
Yeah,
thanking him personally. So,
what it was, it was around Christmas, and they had, of course, a big party on the set, and then there's a picture of me on the bridge of the Enterprise, and it's something like "Happy Birthday, Spaceman Stewart."
Yeah, Spaceman Stewart. Yeah.
So.
You've gotten to work with some cool people. You've like run the gamut on
Patrick. Would I say I was at the right place, Los Angeles, at the right time.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Close Encounters, with the right skills, engineering, art, and I had the right temperament. I could deal with the difficulties. Fast forward to the end of my career, I just didn't have the temperament. I just couldn't deal. I mean, it's one thing when you work on a George Lucas film and it's going to be good. It's another thing with some of these other films I worked on, and you go, what night school did this director fail out of? And so I lost the temperament.
It changes. The world changes, and then you're like, why can't we do the way that it was working perfect before?
That said, and since the documentary, and we had a lunch, my wife and I made a lunch for at our house.
Your old coworkers. And
we had Bill Bryan, who crafted and puppeteered Stay Puft, Mark Brian Wilson, and Rob Vernon. Anyway, so I went on IMDb and I saw, these guys kept working after I left.
Totally.
And my God, they worked on really, really good things.
Well, a lot of people have to keep working. It's just like, this is what I'm doing. Let's try to make it work however we can.
Oh, yeah.
You also didn't want to make the transition to CG at that point, right? Because that was the choice that you had.
That is true. It was the 90s. My friend Richard Hollander owned a company. They were doing visual effects. I said, Richard, you know me. He goes, Stuart, you won't like it. Just, I always thought that I would be someone who would take a shower in the morning and work at a desk in an engineering company. But I really like to work with my hands. I like to make things. I have a complete machine shop at home. I could do glass blowing at home. And it took me many decades to realize I'm a person who likes to get dirty in the day and has to take, a shower at night so I don't bring metal scraps into bed. So I like to make things. I wouldn't be happy doing CGI.
What do you like learning about now?
Well, just everything. I mean, it's like now just the whole world of doing podcasts. There's just so much to learn. Getting my stories down. I bought an expensive microphone. Or with Neil.
We've done some podcasts.
And now this whole new thing of being in front of people. Even at Prop Store when I was the featured speaker at their get together to talk about my slides. I'm involved with investing. I'm involved with the Museum of Neon Art. I give tours, so I'm constantly learning about that. And I'm writing a lot. a whole gamut of things.
That's good.
Oh, and we have a golden retriever. So
Yeah, they're very sweet dogs.
yeah. So I'm building a back gate and
I love that.
taking care, maintaining stuff around the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the most fun things at Monster Palooza was that a current worker from ILM came up and spoke with him, and was just like in awe of you, actually, and wanted to know what it was like way back when. And this guy was like 25, I think, now.
That's
And
cool.
so it was kind of like really cool to see you speak with him. So
Yeah, I mean, what I always say is on Disney Plus, there's this, I think it's 9-part series, Light and Magic.
It's great.
And it's about industrial light and magic. I learned so much from it because, again, I stopped working there in the early 80s.
Sure.
And they went on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And
well, you actually pop up in the dock a few times.
I am in it a number of times.
He's
That's
in the
exciting.
back. There's one. He's going to work, and then he waves at the camera. And
Oh, wow.
And that's you.
Oh,
So
one
that's
of the
fun.
opening scenes, I think, in episode 4.
Oh, that's
and there's
great.
me with my, yes.
I mean,
And
that time has been so mythologized
Yeah.
over the years, and written down. And that doc does such a good job of like,
it's excellent.
it's excellent. You just like, you've heard these names for so long and putting the faces to those names, which is why I like doing this podcast. Is just like, I
it's
want
good.
people to tell their stories. And
Yeah.
you never get to hear costume designers talk at length
Yeah,
and
it's
like
good
all
to
that stuff.
document
It's
it.
nice to like
Yeah.
have it down. And that doc is like one of the best examples
It's
of
very good.
that. When you get Lawrence Kasdan and Joe Johnston to direct it, it's
Yeah.
like,
I know.
it's going to be good. You're going to get good stuff.
We've contacted ILM for the doc, and they're researching finding photos of
Are
you.
they?
Yeah, they are. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we may actually go there because they're open to us, like possibly
that would
doing
be
some
so
stuff there
great.
for the doc. But
You know.
yeah, they're researching it now because
So that
knows
means
people.
they'll give release, right?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
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 Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So
He just blinked again.
Yeah.
We got
there you
a
go.
good blink
Thank
there.
you. You're my man.
I am.
You
Yeah, I
wanna-
got it. I got it.
we're gonna count down the blinks.
Oh,
So
Well,
Oh,
there,
oh,
he's blinking too. He didn't close his eyes all the way,
No,
but he
no.
squinted a little.
And he wouldn't have squinted without you,
That's
Stuart.
right. Without that being stuffed in my suitcase, flying back to America.
I love this part. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
And
I
this,
know.
This part is so great.
How would you pack him in a suitcase? Because
Oh,
you don't
with
want it
my
to
hands.
break. But is he
You don't want
wrapped
the break.
in anything? Is he?
I think it could have been wrapped in my clothes.
Wow.
You
It was
know.
like he was like half, right? It was
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
full-
it would just be from-
It was a hand pump.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
yeah.
So it would just be the top. So-
He came back for the
new
ones.
ones.
though. Yeah.
Did he?
He came
Yeah.
back. Yeah, and I think Mike Quinn came back
Yeah.
as well.
I
so.
hope so.
Yeah.
And he's in one of the rides at Disneyland too.
Oh, that's right.
Really?
I just went on, and
Wow.
that ride is great.
Yeah.
Just so amazing to
Yeah.
me. They had a reunion in 2017 at ILM
Yeah.
for those of us who worked on the first 3 Star Wars.
Yeah.
And since I worked on all 3, I could go.
That's cool.
Anyways, Mike Quinn was there,
Mhm.
and he held up, I think, some kind of personal card or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was him animating Nim Num. you know,
Oh.
so-
Amazing. Amazing. Marsha was at that, right?
Oh,
you have a
yes.
few good Marsha
Oh,
stories.
yes,
and
yes.
I'm obsessed with Marsha.
Oh,
I just
okay.
like hearing all the stories about
Okay,
her.
so let's start off with Marcia on location
I
story.
would love it.
Okay, so the production office was on the 2nd floor of these offices
Yeah.
that overlooked the street. On the other side of the street were all the sound stages. I'm on that walkway holding next to Marcia, and she has her hand on the railing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're looking at the street, and I look at her finger and I go, my God, there's a diamond there half the size of South Africa. So what do I say? I say, Marcia, is that real or is that a CZ?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, CZ is a cubic zirconia.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
fake diamond. She doesn't miss a beat. She's not angry. She just says, oh, yeah, George says I should get one and put this in the safe deposit
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
Okay, that's one Marshall Lucas.
Marshall Lucas ain't wearing
Yeah.
CZ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another Marshall Lucas story. Okay, so when we're in Yuma, Arizona, they would have dailies in one of the hotel rooms. And the room, they had all these chairs split up with like an aisle through, down half the chairs on one side and half on the other. And I'm George and the producer and Marcia are sitting on the right side, and of course I'm sitting behind them.
Yeah.
And everyone else about is sitting on the other side. So there's a scene where you could see from the distance the sail barge, and there's a flag on it, and it's just drooped down. And I whisper into Marcia's ear, that flag should be waving.
Yeah.
The next day they put an effects guy on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Patrick,
You made
the
a
film
difference.
wouldn't have happened. We're in agreement here.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
100%.
That would be
100%.
all the comments online.
Yeah.
Did you notice this flag isn't moving? Yeah.
Okay, so and I guess the third story. So I started to say, in 2017 they had this reunion up at ILM. And everyone is going around. George didn't show up, but Marcia was there.
That's probably why George
Yeah,
didn't
I was
show
just
up.
thinking that.
I think that's
I
maybe
think
the
they get
reason.
along well.
And
so.
she spoke, and we're walking around, and people like someone had a dog, and Marcia goes down and kisses the dog, and then of course I had to show her a picture of our dogs on my cell phone, and she kisses it, and that just made me feel so
That's
good.
great.
That's funny.
And she just let's see.
She was kind of not public for a while, but she just did what was that? The Icons documentary?
The movies that made us or
Or
something.
yeah, she did a
something
documentary
like
where
that.
she talked,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
She also taught. There's a biography about Howard Kazanjian, who's one of the
Okay.
producers
Yeah.
on Jedi, and she's in it a lot.
Oh,
They
okay.
interview her a lot for it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got a lot of cool
I think
stories.
she wants to speak up more now.
Yeah,
just
she should.
Yeah,
She should.
She's kind
Well, my understanding, she was just an excellent action editor.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
when she wasn't there, things.
well,
But also edited Taxi Driver
Yeah,
and
she
like
did.
New York, and
I
like
didn't
all
know
the
that.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, they say she saved Star Wars. I mean, by like, picking up the pace and just like fixing it a lot.
Her
Not just kind of put it all in. Yeah.
and on Raiders,
Yeah.
at the end of Raiders, they didn't check back in with Marion.
Mm-hmm.
And she watched it and was like, "What happened to Marion?" So they like added a scene at the
yeah.
end.
That's great,
Like she,
yeah.
she had a lot of great notes, and it's a shame that she made a ton of money and disappeared.
Yeah,
you
she
know?
did.
Like, made
Good
a
for
lot-
her.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
enjoyed
yeah,
her
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
She
There was
seems to be
another
okay.
story because you made them a
Oh,
a
yeah.
sculpture. I wanna hear this story, too.
So of course you want to give gifts to your benefactor, and I'm making my sculpture, and one of them it's called Crackle Tube. So you have like maybe a 1-inch diameter glass tube, and oh gosh, now what we're going to see here is what Anakin is that his name?
Anakin, yeah.
And we take off the mask and see this face, and
right,
again.
yeah.
It was Peter Rob King who did the makeup on him. That's what I read on the internet.
Yes.
Who did the best haircut in the world
There
I
you go.
ever had.
Yay.
So
Thumbs up for that
anyway,
haircut.
so I make this sculpture, and it has like little glass beads in it, and it looks like little lightning bolts of red around the beads, and I get permission, and I meet her in her house in San Anselmo, and she looks at it and goes, "Oh, yeah, this is like something that would be," I tell her I want to give it to her. "Oh, yeah, this is something would be on a jute box." And I go, "Oh, my God.
There you
This is
go.
what they're going to." And then she's very nice and says, "It's very nice of you, but we really don't want it."
Oh, okay. Well, at least she's being truthful.
I mean, that's when you say, yes, your husband made American Graffiti, which is maybe the most jukebox movie of all time.
Yeah, put this down.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
She was being truthful.
Yes,
was
I
being
know.
Blunt.
Yes.
But-
So,
Yeah, just
that's
gosh,
fun.
to meet some of these people,
Yeah.
with the impact they had on my life and on the world.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're wrapping a movie, are you sad that the experience is ending, or are you? I don't know.
Well, that's,
I know it's complicated. I guess.
usually there's a wonderful wrap party.
Yeah.
So we can't forget that part. And then, gosh, like at the end of Star Wars, to go for a screening with Luke, I think it was Empire. What Lucas did, they'd have a screening for all the vendor, everyone who they bought anything from, for them and their family,
Oh,
and then
that's
they'd
cool.
have a different screening for us. And there's just an incredible amount of pride.
Yeah.
So
Do you remember seeing Star Wars for the first time? Do you remember the moment?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was taking a road trip,
Uh-huh.
and I think I was up near Sacramento.
Okay.
And they had like a big dome theater, like the Cinerama
Oh,
Dome.
yeah.
Sure.
And it was just like this, incredible line going into it.
Oh yeah.
And, just that opening scene with the scroll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just, and then, it's like, strap yourself in, the rocket ship's going, and this
Yeah.
is going to be a fun ride.
Yeah. What movie that you worked on do you enjoy watching the most? Or have you enjoyed watching the most if you're not rewatching them?
Actually, I'm not rewatching them.
Yeah, I assumed. Yeah.
So it's just, well, you're going to get one of my canned responses,
okay.
which is in the line of which movie you worked on you liked the most.
Yeah.
And what my canned response is, and it's a sincere one, I worked on so many different facets in the biz that in different categories, like on China Syndrome, I made me and friends made the first instance, I think, of computer-controlled lights to blink all the lights on in the control room set. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Or Ghostbusters running all the ghosts, or Star Wars talking about those panels.
Yeah.
Or so there was. I said yes, sir, to Jack Lemmon on China Syndrome.
Yeah.
I have a speaking part.
Oh,
You
I
do.
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
really like me. You might have noticed.
We got to
I'm
put
a
that
kid.
on your IMDb.
Yeah, exactly.
gotta do that.
I still get residual checks for $6 every other
Wow.
year.
Oh, that's great.
No, he's definitely there.
But the painful part is I showed pictures of that to this class of 14-year-old animation students, and they didn't know who Jack Lemmon was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense.
It
So,
happens.
yeah.
And
And I think because Star Wars and Ghostbusters have become franchises
Yeah.
where they keep grinding them out, it's something a father and a grandfather could be at one with their grandchildren.
For sure.
It keeps them in.
yeah, they're not movies that disappear. I mean,
They're
like,
always there.
there's so many of them that people keep
I mean, they
watching.
definitely grind them out, as you would say. So.
Yes, yeah.
True. It's true.
Especially these days. But
Yeah.
here we go at the end.
Yeah.
This part's so nice.
Let's see. Well, what other questions?
Oh.
I know. I'm
No,
trying
sorry,
to
I was
think.
just getting stuck in the moment here for a moment. Let me. What do you? Okay, when you look back on your career, what's the one word that you can think of that just basically stands out for you?
Lucky.
Lucky. Okay.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Now I performed. I would say the most important thing in life is to be lucky, and the next most important thing is don't blow it. And I did blow it sometimes. I quit from Star Wars and Empire, but they called me back.
Yeah.
I was at the right place. Everything I've
Well,
said.
they seem to
in the
like
past.
you, so I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, I'm a nice person. I deliver, but a lot of it was luck, and yeah,
right place at the right
yeah,
time. You know?
yeah, with the right skills, being appreciated,
Yeah.
contributing in really significant ways.
When you quit on Empire, were they like, again? You're doing it again?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. Remember, but
So this is all new. This
yeah,
was
this
yeah.
is all
yeah,
CG.
They've added
newness.
this.
yeah,
Everyone's partying.
Everybody we talk to, though, that we've asked is like, "Oh, we love him. I'd love to do it."
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part,
Which
yeah.
is great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a nice person.
I think so.
I mean, when you work on these films, you could be working 10 or 12 hours with someone, and
Yeah.
people have other agendas besides the film paycheck.
Yeah.
Some people are really jerks. I mean, I worked around some people, and I realized they wanted to embarrass me in front of other people. And if I let them embarrass me, they click that box, and then they went on to the next person to embarrass. So what am I saying? It's really intense. You sometimes work around real jerks.
Yeah.
I don't have those agendas.
Yeah.
I never would be a screamer. I never throw things. And well, like when I work on things like Ghostbusters, what's the goal? To get the film done.
Yeah.
Very
quickly.
Deal with the personalities.
Yeah.
Someone
Under
comes
budget.
in my office and goes hand in hand with another person. We're an item now. I go, I don't care. I want to just make the film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's and I was always nice doing it,
Yeah.
And also in my position, what I learned the name years after, not only did I manage the people below me, but like on Ghostbusters, I had to manage the people above me.
Yeah.
There would be like, studio execs who were, I don't know what they were there for besides to make my life miserable. So
Sure.
I had to keep them away.
Yeah.
Or I had to filter out things that they wanted me to do to the employees.
Sure.
Which meant I wouldn't get hired back. But that was,
I mean, so often those execs are there to give you notes because they feel like they have to, otherwise they lose their job,
to
and it's
justify
just
themselves,
that's part of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a reason why, people speak so horribly. Oh, this union boss, he's such a tough guy,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
corrupt. Well, maybe they existed because in the 20s and 30s, the producers and directors would run people until they died,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
And then hire someone else,
Yeah.
not die.
Which
but so
does
burn 'em
still
out.
happen.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are still exhausted.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, we're wrapping up. We
Oh,
did.
I know
Wow.
we're at the end of it.
Look at this.
That was a quick
But,
ride.
but I have so many stories.
know.
Keep going. Keep going.
No,
Hang on. I want to look. I'm like, did I miss any movies I want to talk? Oh, Masters of the Universe.
yeah.
We just did. It's not out yet, so this is a spoiler for
Okay.
listeners. We just recorded one of these with William Stout, who is the production designer.
Oh, yeah, William
on
Stout's
that
a
movie. which
great
is really
artist.
Cool.
Yeah.
What did you do for Masters of the Universe?
All right. I work for Mark Stetson.
Uh-huh.
He was the model maker at Boss Film.
Yeah.
And my main thing is, I think I was in charge of the cosmic key.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So this was the effect that who was the little, was it Billy?
Billy
Yeah, Billy
Barty
Barty.
was the
Barty.
Yeah.
And when he touched the buttons,
It,
these
like, opened up.
8 arms came out.
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
I made the mechanism that caused those arms to go up
Oh,
and
Yeah.
cool.
down.
You-
Leslie
You,
Ecker.
you
made
have it
arms.
still, right?
Yeah, I had one of the
Yeah, I've
prototypes.
seen
Oh,
it.
wow.
Yeah, that's
And,
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And we worked so hard on that.
It's a fun movie. I feel like it's a movie that has aged well. You know?
And aren't they making a sequel?
They're making
Well,
it's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
reboot.
It looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
heavy CG though. Like,
Oh, is it?
Like
Yeah.
heavy.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Get out of here.
I just
CG.
watched the.
Well, we were on
trailer.
location in Whittier, California, shooting whatever the spaceship is
Yeah.
going down the main street or
Yeah.
something. So
I'm just
very
trying to
fun.
find you on here.
I
I don't know. I don't know where you are.
The name of the show of this podcast is Hey That's Me.
Yeah.
And whenever
Look at
people
Oh,
that.
hey, that's
Chief
you.
Articulation Engineer.
look at them.
Yeah.
Stuart Ziff. You
Yep.
see, I could have chosen production PA,
Awesome,
but I
man.
decided that one.
I
Look
think
at
this
that.
is better.
yeah,
I think this is a
I
better
think
thing.
so too.
This is the first time I'm actually
Oh, God,
watching
there's
this
like
with someone from the film.
Pat Carr
Oh.
was the production coordinator.
Yeah.
She had worked on what it is. They had this English again. A lot of the cameramen were English. Assistant director was English. A lot of the production crew was English. So I got to know her, and she came to the U.S. And I was on location somewhere, and she and other English people who were just working people,
Yeah.
they were just talking about, well, I was here in Morocco eating at this restaurant or this in Hungary on this film.
Yeah.
It was just, and they weren't bragging. They
Sure.
were just comparing.
Yes.
So I invited her and some other people over to my house in Marin County, and was sort of like, dorm room modern was my decoration. And I made a meal, and they went. Well, I learned. She said that was one of the maybe only time she ate at someone's house, not in a restaurant
Wow.
while she was
Wow.
on location. So yeah, she was just an amazing. All of them were amazing people.
That's amazing.
because they had weeded out the bad ones.
Totally. Yeah, I guess by the time you get to the third one,
Yeah,
you know who you don't want to work with anymore.
yeah,
Well, this is great, man. I really enjoyed
Well,
this. It's
you know,
nice.
when you say you don't know, you don't want to work with, what I've learned is you could be a prima donna up to what you're worth.
Sure.
So
Sure.
if you're like a real jerk who needs the driver to take you 40 feet because you can't walk, but you're needed for the film,
Yeah.
they have the driver.
Sure.
But if you're some schlep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pulling a cable,
Well, it's like you said earlier, with Harrison in the nice
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
that's right.
you hit a point, and,
know.
and it's worth it.
Uh-huh. And yes.
I've actually been to that hotel, and it's a really nice one.
Oh,
So,
is it?
Yeah. The
Look at
Savoy
that.
Hotel is one of the most. I walked in the lobby there. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
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 when we were there. So,
That's amazing.
Yeah, so he deserved it.
Boy, I'm looking at some of these names. They bring back so many wonderful memories
Yeah.
of people I worked around. Some of these people are in Australia now. And
Chrissy England, who's one of the administrators, I think took over ILM later. I think she was
did?
like one of the head
Oh,
people
I don't know,
at
really?
ILM. for a
Okay.
I
while.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Look at all these. So many
Ewoks?
Ewoks. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, some of these Ewoks, they were like the little evil girls. We won't go into detail,
Sure.
but they were the little evil girls.
Gerald
other
Home
podcast.
right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mime artist number 4. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And now we're in the special
Yeah.
edition.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, like, people see a movie cost $400 million and they're like, yeah, all these people got paid for 6 months.
Yeah, that's it, and put up. And it's just, And what? What's the running time of this?
It's like 2:15.
Yeah.
Wow, that's long.
That's long.
Yeah,
That's long.
Well, that's why they needed so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fun. So, I mean, what is your when you think of this? Where does this land in your career? Where does Star Wars rank for you? Not like totally ranking, but like, what do you think about when you think of it? Just to wrap this up.
I think about. Tell you what I think about.
Yeah.
You're driving down that highway on the top of a mountain, and it's sunny, and then all of a sudden the clouds form overhead, and the wind comes up, and you see a tree is falling down, and you have to take this road off the side of the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
And the sky clears up, and you realize you're on the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
And off in the distance is the Emerald City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Star Wars for me was that turn.
That's great.
I never knew I was going to end up on that yellow brick
Yeah.
road.
And you love the Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, I
because that
love
was
the
one of your
yellow-
things. Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, I remember.
Thanks for bringing it all
They're in a
around.
full circle there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, well, this was great. Thank you guys so much for doing
Thank
this.
you.
Go check
Thank
out
you.
the documentary. Give them a lot of mind. This is going out tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh,
This is going to
thank
go
you.
up tomorrow. So this is great. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Patrick.
Return of the Jedi.
That was great. You did such a good job. I'm having a much better day than you, though.
Wow. Who's the coolest person you saw?
At CinemaCon?
Yeah.
The Pope was there. Wow. Yep.
Because he's in the new.
He's in the Matchbox movie that HBO is making, HBO Max.
Thank you for beating me to it.
What were you going to say?
I was trying to think of Skydance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Skydance could do a funny Pope movie.
Yeah.
What are they doing next? Oh, did they do Swapped? And then they got Brad Bird's movie coming out. Look, just see the trailer. It's on Michael B. Jordan.
What's the Brad Bird movie? It's called like Ronnie Robot.
It looks great. The three
Rusty
three
Rocket.
stills look great, and it's gonna be great, and everyone's gonna love it. It's great.
The Iron Giant.
Great. Brad Bird does no wrong. Great. You did such a good job asking questions.
I mean, neither of us have done it yet, so you don't know that that's
I'm
true.
just guessing. You did. You always do.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I was surprised by how scared you were a lot during it. Have you not seen this movie ever?
No.
Oh, it is scary. Jabba's very scary.
When those guys come out with the sticks and they're poking that gold guy.
I didn't like it. That's C-3PO. You should know. He's in, I think, all of the movies. Everything but Solo he's in, and you should know him.
I know there's one that looks like him, but he's naked. He doesn't have the cover on.
What?
There's one that looks like him, but he's naked.
C-3PO.
Yeah,
C-3PO's naked.
Yeah, in the first movie.
He's naked all the time.
I don't know. He's naked all the time.
Yes, he's naked all the time.
Have you seen that trading card of him?
Yes, stop it with that. You're so naughty all the time. This is a children's podcast.
If any of our listeners want to buy me that trading card,
Oh, you don't have it?
I don't have it.
I'm shocked. Jojo,
Yeah.
write that down for Christmas. Do not get it for him, though. It is pretty funny. You should get special George Lucas talk show trading cards made.
where we all have.
Well,
that.
you do. Well, you should reference the famous cards. And
Yeah.
that should be one of them.
Yeah.
For maybe Watto, because no one wants to see Patrick or George Lucas penis. Well, present company, but like you know what I mean. It sounds like I do if you don't know JoJo's here. Anyway, great job.
Thank you.
You constantly amaze me with your wonderful questions.
Is that true?
Yeah,
What's your
you're
favorite
really good at
question of
this. That you've ever asked? The one you just did. What's your favorite question of mine?
pretty good.
It is really
Pretty
good.
good. Thanks so much for listening. Go check out Stuart's documentary. Donate some money. It would be very fun if all the Hey That's Me heads were all the associate producers on this movie. I think that would be fun.
I wonder if we could associate produce it as a podcast. What's the lowest?
$100.
And you're enlisted as an associate
Yeah.
producer?
Yeah.
I gotta go do it.
Yeah.
Unless he's mean to you, unless he hits you, and then I won't.
I don't know if he'll hit me.
Who knows?
He might be mean to me.
What's the closest we've gotten to being struck during our podcast? Has anyone gotten mad at us? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
feel like I mean, there are jokes that didn't land.
I think maybe
Candy Clark.
Candy Clark. Isn't that weird? Yeah. I was, but in a good way.
Yeah,
like
she
she
was
was
great.
feisty, like and
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, feisty makes it sound like she's 100 years old. She's not.
Yeah.
She was very funny and cool, but she was also not taking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she thought it was a video podcast.
Yes, she
I was
did.
not happy that it was not. She got gussied up.
She got gussied up. She looked great.
We didn't.
I always am gussied up.
You're currently wearing a Muppet Show sweatshirt and shorts.
What a shock. Feels like if you made a action figure of me, that would be the costume.
Really? Oh my god! I often think, what would my accessories be?
And a hat. I need a hat.
with some stupid TV show. You're reaching for a Tonight Show with Jay Leno hat. There it is. That's perfect.
There
What
it
would
is.
your accessories be? I'm a statue of some kind that your girlfriend doesn't like.
A poster. A framed poster.
Oh, a framed poster. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's another accessory? What would I have that was an accessory?
I mean, a collectible.
A phone, a cell
A
phone.
collectible.
Yeah.
A microphone if you're famous for doing podcasts.
Sure, which we're not.
Well, you are for George Lucas.
It's not a podcast, famously.
It kind of is a video podcast. What is it? A show?
It's a show.
It's also a podcast.
When your friend Kevin was on,
Oh, okay.
when your friend Kevin was on, one of his fans commented, "This is the worst podcast in the world." And
Oh, who's this? What fan?
I don't know.
Is
We
it
could probably find it.
Snoochheads
Yeah,
31,
Snoochheads 420.
37.
Yeah.
It's the best show on the internet.
Wow.
This and Mr. Sunday Movies when they do Caravan of Garbage
Sure.
are my two favorites.
Yeah.
And Pitch Meetings. Those are my three favorites. But you're at number
I don't
three.
like those eyes in pitch meetings. They freak me
Just
out.
the picture. He doesn't do it in the thing.
All right, so Brian, we're here today to talk about Star Wars. That's my impression of that guy in pitch meetings.
No, it's You Have a Star Wars for
Oh,
Me.
yeah, that's what it is.
That's so good. He's great.
Yeah.
He's a one
Who
man.
is he? Who is that guy?
Ryan.
Howard from The Office.
I don't remember. It's Ryan something.
Yeah, what's his deal, though?
He's a comedian.
Oh,
And he's a one man show. He does them all. He writes that all by himself.
plays the cymbals with his knees.
Yep. He just had a baby.
Wow.
I often think when you go, I need somebody
All
for
right,
my
honey,
live.
so tell me about this baby.
But when you have live reads, I often think he would be good.
Oh, interesting.
He's so funny, and he's got a huge fan base.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler. Ryan.
Wow, he
I don't
looks
know.
different.
Just look up Pitch Meetings and watch one. They're very funny.
Brian, people can go check out our Patreon.
Oh, that's fun.
Patreon.com/commentary.
With bonus podcasts.
Bonus.
Oh, make people want to do it. Don't
Bonus. You get a whole bunch of stuff on there. It's very fun. You can find out who's coming on early. You can,
That's not incentive to pay money. What you just said.
but you can ask
the bonus podcast.
But you can
is.
ask questions,
and we'll watch podcasts with you, and you
We'll
can watch
watch
the stuff.
podcasts with
We'll
you.
watch. I'm zoning out. We'll watch a movie with you.
Yes.
And you can watch the podcast synced up to the thing we're watching sometimes.
We should have a fan on the bonus podcast.
What do you mean?
We should have a fan.
Oh, like Conan O'Brien needs a fan?
Yeah, we
like
talked to
bring
him.
one in.
You get a whole bunch of stuff on there. Go check it out. Go leave reviews on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you do it. Comment on stuff. Leave comments. I like hearing from people.
Unless it's something like, this is the worst podcast I've ever.
Honestly, I would love that.
No.
If someone commented this is the worst podcast ever, you wouldn't take that as a little bit.
No, I wouldn't like that. You and I made fun of something this week on an Instagram message, and I got shit for it, and you didn't.
I don't remember that.
The Hacks lady
Yeah.
said that people that use AI are losers.
Oh, yeah.
And you wrote something, and I just wrote agreed. And then someone under me wrote, Brian Lynch, do you agree with online bullying? Because that's what you're saying right now. And I clicked on his thing, and he had 51,000 followers. He was a writer who uses AI pictures
Yeah, fuck
to
that
do,
guy.
and his first thing pinned to his thing was, a lot of people think I use AI to write this. I don't. It's just the pictures. Why does everyone think I use AI to write it? And it's like, because you use AI to do it. So anyway, I responded to him, why don't you use AI to properly convey how mad you are at me? And then he wrote, I'm not that mad, LOL. But he
Yeah,
is. Come on, he
he
is. So anyway, yeah, but you didn't get anything. I got
No.
it. Why did I get guff?
Higher profile.
I guess. You have more followers, though, I think.
Yeah, but you're a high profile
Yeah,
person.
I'm very famous. I'm at
You are.
CinemaCon right now having
CinemaCon.
margaritas with Tina Turner.
What is she doing there?
I don't know. It's like a Weekend at Bernie's thing, I guess. I don't know.
Is she dead?
She died last year, yeah. She's one of my first crushes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Still?
She's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what she
Now.
looks like now. Her Live Aid era Tina Turner.
Yes.
Her Mad Max era Tina Turner.
Was she in Live 8?
Live 8?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It was the sequel to Live Aid. This
All
is
right.
real.
We're going off topic.
No,
for
this is
Return
real,
of the
though.
Jedi. Go support Stuart Ziff's Indiegogo campaign so we can get this thing made, and then we'll have him back on to watch it with him, and we'll do commentary on that.
On the dock? That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Your hosts have been Brian Lynch and Patrick Hotner. Music was by Alex Peabody, and our art was by Abigail Noy. You can find out more about the show by going to heythat'smepod.com and checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.